Let me go ahead and tweet out. Oh, and then we need to pick some music, but that can be after when we go into the main screen. Alright, tweet it out. The bots are live. Let's see if the Discord bots are working. They're working overtime. Okay, sent it to a couple of Discord. The Discord bots are working. Cool. Hux is here. Wow! I'm Speed. Zako's here. We hear the typing? That's fine. You guys can hear the thok. The mic was on? By the way, chat, how is my mic sound? Because when I was looking at yesterday's VOD, it was very peaky, and like I know I lowered it, but it was still kind of peaky. How is it now? Let's see. Got there the Discords. Okay. There we go. He's in chat and he's in this call? Crazy taxi. Okay, I'm just gonna take a sip of water and then we'll go ahead and get started then. He's everywhere. He's in the walls. Got your sticker. Nice sticker. Hi, Seishun. Hello. You know what? Let's go ahead and go to the main screen. There we go. All right, Vite, you're live. Class, did you notice that we have a new poster in the class?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm live. I'm in the walls. I'm everywhere.
He's in the walls. He's on the wall. He's a new poster on the board. I don't know. You could go check out
view
your
of your stream is like a whole minute behind. Let me refresh.
Oh
that.
no.
There we go.
He is the wall. Yeah, let me know if you like the placement. I could put you back on my table. Or you know what? Maybe I could put you on the, like where my my Spotify is.
Anywhere's fine. I mean, I exist as a large sheet of printed paper at the moment, so.
It's paper Vite height. It's instead of Paper Mario, it's paper Vite height. Oh yeah, let me put my command for collabs. I made this new command when I was collabing with the other fellow bears with Raft, just to make sure that I might not be able to catch every chat message, but because we're probably gonna be waffling, we're gonna be yapping, right? Wait, let me make sure that it's set up.
Nah, this is gonna be the quietest stream ever. We're just gonna sit here with art block, not drawing a damn thing.
I know.
And just sitting here in complete silence.
Wait, I was about to start drawing like a little face, and like it said layer is locked, and I'm like, no, not the scuff already. There we go. Here's the stream, everyone. Shred him. Like, what do you mean? Hux is acting up, Vite height. Like
Hux is always acting up.
But before we get into the drawing and stuff, let's do our welcome. I realized I didn't even do my opening welcome thingy, right? So hello everyone, I'm Babinka Bear, artist, art historian, and Sun Bear PNGTuber, and today we're collabing with the famous wizard bear Vite height. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, as she was saying, hello, I am Height, the bear wizard, the wizard bear. I play video games on the internet and occasionally pretend that I can do art on the internet.
No pretending. You have your weekly art streams, right?
Yes, my weekly I move the mouse around on the street on the screen to make shapes, and it sometimes works.
No, it's still cool that I saw your artwork. You posted it. Well, you just had a stream yesterday, right? You posted your D and
Yeah,
D
yeah.
character.
Hmm.
Nice. Oh, actually, before we start once again, um, how does I was watching your VOD because I wasn't able to catch you live yesterday because I was working over hella overtime. But when I was watching the
Yeah,
VOD, you were playing Final Fantasy IX music, right?
yeah.
How What are your thoughts on Final Fantasy X music?
I mean, I like Final Fantasy X music. I like Final Fantasy X in general.
Cool. Let's play some. I forget that the first one is to Xanarkand, which is like a little more somber as we're like what's up everyone, and then it's like sad piano music.
No, it's fine. The nine soundtrack is the same way with the title screen.
Oh yeah, I feel like a lot of Final Fantasies are that way, right?
Hmm.
But yeah,
The
so
ones that don't do just that like simple chord up and down.
yes,
They're all so somber.
the do 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 do, like the
Yeah.
like the Final Fantasy 14 free trial music. But yeah, what are we doing today?
You mean the critically acclaimed MMO Final Fantasy 14 with
With
the free
with
trial that's
that
now
lets you go
extended to include the Stormblood expansion that lets you play up to level 70 for free?
Tell me more. No, I'm kidding, but I'm already Final Fantasy pilled. I'm already deep in it.
Oh, right. Station provided the I forgot the most important part with no restrictions on playtime.
Right? Yeah, no restrictions on playtime at all. There are restrictions with like adding people, like
There's hella other restrictions because there's gold sellers and that's why we can't have nice things, but
mm-hmm. Exactly. So, um, what are we doing today, Vite what are we arting today?
well, I think we were just as we were discussing prior to starting, we're gonna just kind of do a starting off point of just kind of drawing each other here.
Yeah.
Um, I think I have a bit of an advantage because I'm used to going mouse only, whereas
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a guess that you probably haven't drawn on a computer with a mouse since you were in school, probably.
Yeah, that would be correct. I did try to do some test runs, which is funny because when I sent you the magma board, even though I erased it, I guess when the thumbnail sends, it like
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail. It had like this kind of like weird bean on it.
yeah, that was like I was like I'm gonna try and draw Vite Height right now with a mouse. Let's see how it goes, and then like I drew it. I was pretty satisfied with it actually. Um,
Mhm.
but I had done like this technique, the one where you like make a shape first and then you erase the lines.
Yeah,
But yeah, you are the master of like kind of drawing with mouse. So
it
if
is the weird thing too is that like I've realized that my mouse drawings do actually like match the quality of when I have a pencil and paper. I
yeah.
don't know how. I didn't practice this either.
No, I think that's just how it that's just
And
how
of
it be.
course, when it doesn't matter, I can bust out, muzzle ovals like it's no business.
Mhm.
It's only when I'm actually on my own stream trying to do something serious.
That it's like why isn't this happening right now?
Yeah, where I'm just sitting there like, no, no,
Mhm.
no, no. Actually, that one's almost okay,
Yeah, the
but
eternal
no,
artist
no,
struggle.
no, no, and then I just get fed up and do this.
Wow, as someone who's worked with a museum before, that is actually modern art. That is nice. Folks are getting their stickers. And sorry, I'm
Oh,
missing a couple of chat messages, but people are. If Hux wants to join in on the Final Fantasy, I don't know if that's a good idea. Well, everyone's getting there. You got your sticker.
yeah, I'm getting close to the 50 mark.
Nice. Oh yeah, I haven't really been paying attention to the. Yeah, Matthew has 47. Seishun, you got your
All
first
right.
sticker.
I
Nice.
should clear this up a bit and actually start, huh?
Sure, if you want.
I'm trying to. This is only my third time on a magma board, and the second time actually drawing something, so I'm still learning how to drive this car.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Oh wait, speaking of which, I was on Owen Aeon's stream earlier, and he has this like it's
Mhm.
not a redeem. I keep wanting to say redeem, but it's not a redeem. It's like a game where like people were racing against each other. Hux actually crashed into me. It
Mm.
was, it
Yeah,
was quite the
I've
thing.
been there when he did that a couple times. The two that I joined in on, my driver seemed to think we were taking a leisurely summer drive off the coast.
I mean, is it not that like as people like are overlapping? Well, I guess there's no overlapping. It's just the one lap, right? But it's a fun
Mhm.
concept. I like it. So now we got to the point in the Final Fantasy music where you hear that chord, that Final Fantasy chord,
Mhm.
which I also wanted to ask when we were picking the music. Which Final Fantasies have you played?
Um, I've s- I've started all of them at least once,
Oh
but
yeah.
if we go into ones that I've actually managed to finish, the list gets a lot shorter.
Oh okay.
I have finished Final Fantasy 3.
Ooh.
I have finished I've beaten 9 no fewer than 3 or 4 times.
Nice. My
Nine
man.
is my favorite Final Fantasy, and
Yo,
I will
same.
say it's the best one, and I'm willing to fight people over this.
Oh my god, you're speaking to the choir. You're speaking to the bear choir right now. Like I love
Yeah.
9.
I've beaten 10 twice. Um, and then we get into a weird situation.
Ooh.
So I've technically beaten the main story for vanilla Final Fantasy 11, and I don't know if I want to count that.
Oh, okay. What I is 11 isn't that the MMO one? Like the other MMO one?
That was the first MMO,
Oh, okay.
which I mostly played because my brother was into it too. I had never played it as seriously as he did, though. He was into like all the actual like in-depth end game stuff. I was just like, I'm a black mage going around casting magic. Every fight is I empty out my MP and then sit for 5 minutes. It sure is fun.
This sure is fun. Wait, is your brother Randon Nuring by any chance? The guy who like freaking loves Final Fantasy 11? Are you the Jimmy
Uh,
Noir?
I am unfortunately not the Jimmy Noir or Jimmy Nuring.
Is there, I guess, any cuz you know that one stream where he was like talking with Lando and he was like, "Oh, like it feels like in 11 like it matter, like you feel like you matter." And Lando was kind of like flabbergasted like, "What do you mean by that?" Like as someone who played 11, is there are the allegations
Um,
true? Is it like
there is a degree of truth to that. Randon is absolutely right about. Um, in Final Fantasy 11, your reputation as a player absolutely mattered for getting invited into parties and things, because you had like it didn't have like I th- it didn't really have instances for anything. The actual content and stuff, you always had to like manually get a party together for.
Manually get a
So
party? Wait, what do you? I'm so used to
yeah,
like 14. Like, what do you mean by
yeah. So
that?
you wouldn't like queue for something. You would actually be sitting in town, probably with like you could set your character status to looking for party, and then you would be sitting in there spamming the shout chat that you were looking for a party for this or
Really?
that. Like if you wanted leveling in a certain area, or if you were looking for a party to do a certain BCNM fight or something like that, you would sit there and shout until you had a party constructed. And
Really?
so, yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so the way so the reason why player reputation now matters is because you are being added to party manually, which means you are being vetted by the people already in the party. So
Dang.
either they're taking a chance on someone new, or someone saying that guy's good, invite him.
Wow. And
And
there's no
so
like. Mhm.
if you were an asshat who did stupid stuff, you would get that reputation and people wouldn't invite you to parties. And so if it got to the point where you were literally just the worst piece of human garbage to ever exist and no one wanted to invite you to do to any parties anymore, the only
Mhm.
way to progress with stuff was to make a new character and pretend that you weren't
Oh my
yourself.
gosh. That's
And
crazy. That's like, you have to quite literally like make a new identity.
yeah.
Dang. I like that when you were saying like if you're an asshat, if you're no bueno, this theme started playing the is this the not Brasco, what's his name? It's
Oh,
the
other world. Is that the?
it's like the one that plays in the beginning cutscene where you first see
Right,
Sin.
the mm,
I don't know, it just had like this hard rock, like sound of like if you're an asshole,
right, right.
don't you give up on it.
And it's and Final Fantasy X spoilers, it's the theme of like the biggest
Yeah.
asshole.
Exactly. Exactly. We got a few people saying hi in the chat. We've got May Shark. Hi, Clyde. WoW was the same back in the day? Man, I feel spoiled with like how FF14 is now because that was the first MMO I've ever played. And, like just because of the social anxiety, like it's like, oh, I don't want to have to
Mhm.
talk to people, and now like knowing how spoiled we are now with like now we have like NPC dungeons and like I don't know how
Uh-huh.
far those NPC dungeons go because I just got to
They're
Heavensward.
I think they have actually gotten it so that all the main story dungeons have them available.
Oh, like up to Endwalker?
Yeah, because they started making that a thing in Shadowbringers, because
Oh.
they actually have like the scions aren't completely useless in Shadowbringers, and they actually adventure with you
Why
and
is that so
actively do
funny?
dungeons and stuff with you.
Why is that so funny? Like the scions aren't
And
useless.
I say they're not completely useless if you do the dungeons that they're available in without doing like the NPC ones. Like if you just do it regular with other people,
Mm-hmm.
when you get that end of dungeon cutscene where the boss dies,
Mm-hmm.
like it'll be like boss goes down, you and your party do like the celebration poses, and then in the background of you guys doing the celebration poses, you see the current group of scions that's with you just come like walking into the room.
I
Like, hi
they
guys, we're here too.
They did that in Stone Vigil, right? Where it's like Alpha Node and who
Mhm.
was it, Sid? They're just like, "Oh my god, thank
Yeah.
God you slew that dragon." It's like, "Where were you?"
It was, we've all like my group of friends and I have always just been making the joke of just, oh, they were out getting Starbucks.
And they didn't even get
They,
bothered to get anything for you.
they didn't get anything for us, no, because they were like, "Oh, we wanted to know what you wanted, but you were busy, so
I know you're busy,
We figured we figured we'd just get our stuff and catch up with you.
Yeah, you had your tank stance on. I don't know how we would have been able to like, get you. So, oh well. Sucks to
Al-
suck.
Also decided I'm gonna be drawing your current outfit, that '90s drip.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you want me to? I can put a PNG on the Pure Ref. Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about before we went live, huh? This program Pure Ref.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on the screen, and like it's cool because you could paste directly from either the interwebs or from like your Explorer files, So that's why I like it. It is free,
Mm-hmm.
but when you go to the website, there's like, would you like to donate $20 or $75? And it's a little hidden, but there's a custom option where you can just type zero.
Right. Right. It's like when you go on to like when someone like it's happened with like the itch.io, or some people
Mm-hmm.
have like a coffee link or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Exactly.
always makes you feel a little awkward when you click the little box that says, "Nah, I'm not gonna give this person anything. I just
Yeah.
want the program."
Yeah. When you're at the Ralphs and it's like, would you like to donate to stop child like world hunger? And it's like, no. Paper bags, please. But thank
I
you
mean,
though.
don't get me wrong. There have been some of those that have been programs or something that like I have gone back and given them some money when I actually get some use out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I just want to try something, it's like, why am I gonna pay like even $10 to try something?
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, I'm not exactly in the best financial situation at the moment, but
Mm. No, I felt that recently with you know what, instead of I can't get a reference because I realized I never saved it in PNG, so I'm just gonna put the desk away, and you're just gonna, for those who want to know what the music is, it's gonna be over Mr. Pancakes. So there you go. If you need
Mr.
a
Pancakes
reference.
is just holding up the sign.
Yeah, it's funny because the current title is
It's
Run.
yeah, just it's slightly concerning. Just Mr. Pancakes sitting over there in the corner holding up a sign that
It says
says
Run.
"Run."
Students, pay no attention to Mr. Pancakes. What?
Mr. Pancakes is he hasn't been taking his medication. Don't believe a word he says.
Yeah, don't, he's just a stuffed animal. It's okay.
Yeah,
Pay
no,
him no
it's
mind. I
fine. Like
trust him with my
don't
life.
worry about it.
Mr. Pancake stepping in for the truancy officer. Oh man, what's gonna happen if you miss too many classes? Like, you just get like Mr. Pancake's like launches through your bedroom window, and he's like, "Why aren't you going to school today?"
Oh god, he could come in like that bit in The Simpsons where Ralph gets thrown in through the window.
Yeah, yeah. Where like he has a note attached
Oh,
to
I have
him.
something I have to draw now. I have to.
Hi,
I- I'm
Saku.
I'm I am going to write that down so I can remember it later.
Yeah, please do so.
Yes. I'm. I pull up Notepad. I'm going to write down Mr. Pancake, Ralph, window, throw, and hope that future Vite remembers what the fuck I'm talking about.
I'm sure he will. I try to remember like how to draw a hat. This is always kind of the conundrum with
Hmm.
drawing characters with cool hats, is like I don't quite know how dimensionality works with hats, so I might just leave it like this.
Yeah. So, like, I should note that has absolutely happened before with some of the notes I take, because that's just what I do. I get an idea, I open up Notepad and write it down for later. It's always a new file, so I have like a whole bunch of these Notepad files that just have like one line of just a thing sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll name it something that will hopefully remind me what it was supposed to be, but it doesn't always work. Like, I have one that's saved on my desktop. It is titled Best Name, and all it says when I open it is Lan Javender. What?
land jab and turn. I don't know what
That's
that.
all it says, and it's just called Best Name. I made this in July of 2022. I need to go back 2 years ago, and ask him, what did you mean?
It's like when you like in movies or maybe real life as well, where you like you're drunk or otherwise inebriated, you write something down. It's like sober me is gonna get such a kick out of this. This is like an amazing idea. You read it when you're sober, and it's like, what? What was I talking about? Oh, and really quickly for Clyde in chat, if you're talking about your avatars, yes, I think. Let me do this commands. There we go. That's what your stream avatars can do. But yeah, no, I was wondering too. So how do you normally use like notepad files to like organize your thoughts?
Yeah, basically, just because solely because it's the program that I've been using for forever,
Mm-hmm.
and I refuse to acknowledge the existence of newer programs that might be able to organize things better. I also don't ever save them in the same place, so everything's just kind of around, which doesn't help because my computer has 3 drives on it, and there's stuff like that saved to all of them.
Oh, I get it.
And then I showed you before we started streaming how organized just my stream folder is. The rest of my computer is worse.
Oh yeah.
Like, and the worst part about it is on my main drive that holds a lot of my random files. I have all sorts of folders with all different things, and then there's one that's named unclutter folder, and it
Oh
has
no.
4 gigabytes of just random garbage in it.
I have something
And
like that too, to be honest.
it's it's not even cohesive. Like, I have a picture that I like just took a picture of the TV the last time I played Earthbound when I got the Sword of Kings. I have some fan art of Hank from King of the Hill using the Attack on Titan stuff, and
Wait, what?
it just says Attack on Hill. He's like going around. He's got propane tanks strapped to his sides, and instead of those giant box cutters, he's got like dual spatulas.
Why is that? It's like funnier since like the battle theme for Final Fantasy started playing as you said that. So it's like Hank Hill enters
I
the battle.
and then like off to the side, I have my my totally legal ways of playing Pokemon Soul
Oh
Silver
yeah,
and
directly from Nintendo. Yeah, I.
mhm. An
Mhm.
audiobook I downloaded, my old Animal Crossing QR codes from New Leaf. Like all this is in one folder, and it's just unclutter folder.
Oh no.
Thank Thanks, old me.
I mean, as long as you can navigate it, right? As long as you know where.
Oh, I can't.
Oh no.
It's always the situation of I remember some sort of file somewhere, and then I'm like, which folder was that in?
Yeah, and if you have 3 drives, is because I know that Windows Explorer has like a search feature, but it's I can't really count the times that it's like 100% helped me. I don't know if you're the same, but it's just never
It's
helped me.
it's hit or miss, really.
Mhm.
It's just especially with the way that I name things, it's
Like a folder called ah.
yeah, I do literally have a folder in my stream folder called ah, which I actually do remember the context of because I looked into it to see what was in there. So that was a folder name I made out of frustration because I was trying to find a way to play Castlevania Rondo of Blood on PC without too much effort,
Mhm.
and that went through so many different things because they can't just make it simple and put out a PC version. of their games.
Oh
In fact,
no.
Rondo of Blood is one of the few Castlevania games you can't play on PC.
Yeah, I keep hearing about like certain games that like are kind of lost to time. Well, not lost to time, but it's just like so much less accessible now.
But yeah, no, that folder contains a totally legal copy and a translation patch for the like MSX computer version or whatever. I th- and which apparently like it was on a version that like the only emulator that exists for it, you have to actually like load ROMs in through like command prompt because the people who want to play these games want to make an emulator but they can't make a graphics interface to save their life.
Mm. Oh no, not the
And I
confusing
named it
UI.
Ah because that was like the third version of the game that I was trying to play, and I just want to play. I just want to play a video
I
game.
just let me play the Castlevania.
And then it turns out that someone who probably went through a lot of the same stuff I did actually went and made a like native PC port of it.
Oh, okay.
I think what it is actually like a um I don't know the right word for it, but like just a version of the emulator specifically for running that game.
Oh, like they I know what you mean. Like it's specially
I
made
don't
just for
remember
that.
the yeah, I don't remember there's a word for that and I don't remember what it
I
is.
also don't know. Like it has its own installer kind of, its own like UI.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And then after that it was just the quote unquote simple matter of getting my controller to work with it because I play with a DualSense controller, which as long as I'm on Steam, it's fine, but that's not a Steam thing. It wasn't a thing I could load through Steam either. It didn't want to play nice.
Aw. I had something similar. Did you when you play Legend of Zelda Master Quest, um
Uh-huh.
did you play well, did you how do I say this? It's totally legally, emulating it. Um was it like Citrix or whatever?
Um
I actually don't know if
it's
we're allowed to talk about it, but there's an ad break. Not too many people are
whatever.
gonna. Yeah.
Only the people who paid are gonna get to hear this anyway. No one will rat us out. No, I use RetroArch for most emulation stuff, and
Oh,
that has different cores that you can download just for a bunch of different systems. And they had a 3DS one that worked quite well. I think it is Citra based.
okay.
In fact, I think you can still download it through them too.
Oh,
So
cool. Cause I
and
I had trouble with using my controller for what's it called, gyro controls, and like
you know
when
the only bad part with the ads is the ad takes away my reference picture.
oh, does it? Oh no. Oh no.
Get out of the way, Affleck. I need my references.
You get Affleck. I keep on getting the one with the oh my god, what's his name again? He played Cal Drogo, and then the two guys from Scrubs. I was gonna say The Rock. I'm like,
Oh,
that's not The Rock.
no, not The Rock.
Oh, Ara's here as
But yeah, no.
well. Saku is asking, are we able to sway White to off collabing this summer? Ooh.
I mean, quite possibly, because you're going to be within my vicinity in what, June?
July actually. It's
July?
it's gonna be for Evo.
Right, right.
But no
And I
no
mean,
pressure.
I can most certainly try to be around for a thing.
Yeah, no pressure at all. Especially because it's like on stream. I don't want to pressure you. Like
Mhm.
you're on stream now. You got to say yeah. You got to say
The
yeah.
weird the weird thing is that like doing a streaming thing is actually going to be easier for me to arrange than like a hanging out in person thing if you wanted to, and that's solely because I don't know if I'm gonna have hanging out with someone from out of town money.
Oh, I see, I see. I
Yeah,
see.
because I've mentioned this a few times. I feel like I mention it too often, frankly, but I do have the unemployment debuff at the moment, so
No, I totally get it. I totally get it. And if we meet up, like we, there's ways we could work around it, As in
oh,
like I'd be happy to pay.
that that reminds me. There's actually a place that I wanted to bring your attention to.
Sure.
There is a largely because of the tarot stuff that you've done.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
There is a shop somewhere in town that has like different sort of occult things and a lot of tarot
Ooh.
decks and stuff like that. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. Seishun would know.
Oh, cool, cool. I'd be down.
But I think I'll send you a thing for it later because I don't want to say things immediately right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No worries, no worries at all. I'm just remembering that this tool exists. Oh no, I accidentally put a design on it. So there's something on Magma called the lasso brush.
Hmm.
It it can it can potentially help with coloring, but right now I'm realizing I'm experiencing difficulties. But it's a cool way
Hmm.
to color with mouse. But no, that sounds cool. A tarot themed place to go
I
to.
just yeah, I've never been to it myself. I've just seen a bunch of pictures of it, and Seishun told me about it because she's apparently been there a couple times.
Oh, cool.
Also, am trying to figure out how to make a new layer.
Oh, if you go to the layers panel on the
Oh,
lower right,
I got it.
you got it.
Yeah, just some of the mouse over help text wasn't coming up
Mhm. Mhm.
because it's just weird like that
I'm
sometimes.
I'm still learning all about the capabilities of Magma Board. Even when I was like collabing with Mayshark and Saku, there were times where I'm
Hmm.
like, "What does this button do?" Wow! Like it gives you like a whole new background and stuff like that. Okay,
Yeah, and that's how I've been going with Clip Studio Paint too. Is
what does this button do?
just like I'll draw something and then I'll be like, all right, time to mess around with some tools I haven't touched yet and see if I can get anything out of them to add something.
Mhm.
I think that's how I started putting textures on things because I figured out that sort of thing.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
it's
It
sorry.
almost feels cheap, but at the same time, I mean, I like the results, so just like why not
Exactly.
just keep doing it?
No, yeah, exactly. If I mean that's how one learns with like new art stuff is just like experimenting with the new tools that you got. Because
Hmm.
now I can do something like I this lasso brush tool that I want to try out. It gives you the option of using textures, and I feel like that'd be a cool way to add some shading, which I kind of suck at shading. So we're gonna see what happens with this.
Yeah. Dating and it's I would probably be okay at it if I could wrap my head around the way it actually works
Mm.
because I don't know, it's I always just look at it and like I get the basic principle of like you have a light source and so then you put in like colors that would be like shadows of like the higher up parts of the body or something casting on the lower parts stuff like that, but then it's like I think it's just I need to study myself more because I can't visualize it very well.
Yeah, it's I feel kind of the same when it comes to specifically shading. Like I know the objective, like idea behind it, but in practice, when it comes time to actually do it, it's like, okay, if I were to imagine there's that tip that people say of like you should draw a sun, and like show like where the light is coming from, but that still doesn't quite help me. Like I'm still just like and then I just guess. I just like I'll add shading here.
Oh, and something I found out while messing around, this actually goes back to the previous point of just messing around with the program. Clip Studio Paint actually has like an automatic shading function.
Does it?
Yeah, it's the results are kind of a mixed bag. I think it's largely something that you could like start from and then fix. But it
Oh,
actually does have a functionality where you can set a like a point where the light is and how intense it is.
that's kind of
And
awesome.
yeah, I tested it out once with like my normal PNGTuber thing. And I was just like, what happens if I put a light here? And then I just look at it like, that's actually not half bad. There's some parts that are obviously wrong, but
But
I,
you know, it
I got
works.
it right here. Let me just pop that in the DM real quick.
Sure,
So
sure,
like
sure.
if I just set a light source above me. I think that this was like a ball light source because you can also set that.
Oh.
So like
Oh, that's
that's what it spat
sick.
that's what it spat out at me.
That's sick. That's actually I'm actually gonna use that as a reference.
And
That's
I
shady.
feel like that's the sort of thing that could maybe help you get like a good starting off point and
Mm-hmm.
maybe edit it a bit because there's obviously some parts that would need changing.
Mm-hmm. That's
Like
neat
how there's
though.
no shadow underneath the brim of my hat at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was working on now. Oh, I see Hux is gonna go to bed. Good night, Hux. No worries. And then Super Mega Man X is saying hi to us. So hello, hello.
Hello, Super Mega Man X. You should get a shorter name.
Like kind of like the Japanese like nicknaming convention, like when you have a like an anime with a super long name, like those visual novel ones, and it's like they
Mm,
break it down into like hello Sume X.
yeah. And I can talk shit. I can talk shit to him because I know him.
Yeah. I call him by his government name. And then Matthew
I
says,
mean, yeah, I do know his government name. He knows my government name. We're all we're just standing there with the government name guns at each other.
That's what I wondered too. Like, I think I saw a tweet earlier that was like, "What do you guys do when you meet? Like, when VTubers meet up, do they call each other by their like, you know, their VTuber name or their government name or what? Because it'd be fun. I guess we'll figure it out when we get there. But it would be funny to just be like, yeah, one table for Viteheit and Saku and Bibinko Bear, please, and and I would assume also our partners too. So like, yeah, also for Beans and Aura and Seishun. Like,
You know, the funny thing is, a long time ago, my my brother uh was part of like a small cosplay group.
ooh.
I joined in just because, I was also there at the same time. It wasn't anything serious or anything. There was no theming going on or anything. It was just people who met at a con and decided to just stay as a group when we went to other cons.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the funny thing with that was we actually did just call each other by whatever whatever the cosplay they were wearing at that
Oh
first
my
time we met was.
gosh.
So
So like, hello Sephiroth and like.
basically like that. There was a Sasuke. Um, there was a Tifa. Um, I I think my brother was. I think that's when he had his Edward Elric cosplay going.
That's awesome.
I've basically only ever cosplayed as a black mage, so
But that's awesome too. What the heck?
I have the hat around still too. I don't have I think I might have the robes, but they're like kind of not in great shape. I have the hat though,
That's cool. Like any kind of like really cool like wizard
and the
hat type.
stabs. I did actually make the stabs myself too.
Oh, cool.
Myself with the help of my brother because he was the one who owned the jigsaw for cutting wood.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, so out of real wood, like, you made it, or?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
One of them I actually put a bit of effort in, and the head of it actually like forms kind of like a C shape, and it between the points of the C is a ball that I stuck in there that's painted with like metallic colored paint.
Oh, cool.
I could post some pictures of it sometime,
Yeah,
actually,
if
now that I
you're
think of it.
only if you're comfy.
They're right in my closet, so because what are closets for?
Yeah,
They're for
exactly.
they're for keeping your wizard staffs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mine's certainly not being used for clothes.
Oh, you don't just cast, I can't even think of like a BS cleaning spell to because then we'd be getting into like Harry Potter territory, and I wouldn't want to do that now. But
I mean the D&D one is prestidigitation, so
oh, well, there you go. There you go. I kind of
oh,
mhm. Go
that
ahead.
was another thing I wanted to mention because I know because like I posted the art that I did of a D&D character of mine that I drew last night, and I figured I'm gonna leave stuff contextless on the Discord.
Oh yeah.
This will be this will be exclusive stream watcher content.
Mhm.
I'm gonna explain what the context of that image is
Sure, sure, sure.
because for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's my first D&D
So good.
character ever who was a black dragonborn illusion wizard, which anyone who's played 5th edition will probably be like, "What?" And my only defense was it sounded cool.
I mean, it does sound cool. That's the thing. Yeah.
Um and so I drew him from like a scene that was in that game. We were at a market, and one of the things going on was there was like this sleight of hand illusionist act going on. So like not so like I don't think it was like a magic act. It was like a sleight of hand thing,
Oh,
but like
okay.
doing tricks like that. My character being the cocky illusion wizard that he was, decided to walk up and have beef with this guy for absolutely no reason.
Would you say sleight of? I
And
don't know.
so,
It just reminds me of like Arrested Development of like the
uh,
like, is this your card? Like,
yeah. So he just gets into like sort of like an impromptu like trick competition with him. He does
oh,
he does this little sleight of hand like it's like this is thing behind your ear or something like that.
uh huh.
And then my guy, the illusion that he is, he's like, all right, kind of wiggles his fingers, puts his hands together, and then he casts. It was either prestidigitation or minor illusion or something. It's not important exactly what it was.
Uh huh.
He separates his hands, and floating between his hands is a piece of parchment that says "You suck."
Oh my god. Chris Angel mind freak. That's what Matthew said. I'm like imagining the intro where it has like those like 2000s like video like Windows Movie Maker effects.
Oh, and Matthew is asking if I'm still planning on running Bear Market through Honey Heist. Absolutely. I just need to I'm looking into I want to watch like another group play it just to get a gist of the kind of preparation level that I should do with it. And then it's a matter of getting people together who would be free for a night of dumb bear shenaniganry.
You said the secret words. Dumb bear shenaniganery. That'd be cool. Matthew did mention Honey Heist, and the only thing is, like I said, I haven't done a lot of TTRPG type stuff in a
Mhm.
minute, so cool. And then I guess I had some mic problems, but it cleared up. It might have been when I was laughing. I might have been laughing too loud into the mic. Okay, I think I finished the one of you, but I want to like draw you again, but in like my usual style.
Mm.
If that's
God,
Gucci.
God damn, that is adorable.
Thanks. I had to make do with kind of like not
There's
being able
something on
to.
my end.
Hmm.
Super Mega Man X says there was something on my end. Maybe
Oh.
my mic has a tendency to reset its gain without me telling it to.
I'll lower you just in case, but if Vite height is too low, chat, let me know. Let me know. Cause like it did look
It
like you
it
were starting to peak, but I
it
lowered it.
happens all the time. Like for some reason, my mic will just reset its gain to default.
I don't
I
know if
have no
that's what
idea
happened.
how or why.
Oh, he's too low now. Okay, let me raise you up to -10, and then I think I'm also at negative. Oh no, I'm at -8. So, not that those numbers even matter. I don't know if anyone in chat's gonna be like, yeah, actually, what you're looking for is the -7.5.
Right? Especially since it's gonna change per person. Because like
Yeah.
I'm louder and have a voice that tends to carry, so got super echoey
Oops.
and robotic. Maybe my internet went a little wonky for a
Oh,
second because
you
that
sounded fine
does
for me.
that does happen every now and then, especially lately. It's actually usually only happens in the middle of the day. It was a bugbear of mine whenever I wanted to do like an afternoon stream. Was just like random internet hiccups would cut stuff out.
Mm. Maybe you sounded fine on my end the entire time, but I also wonder if it was like when I was giggling or something, if that was like read as
Yeah.
like as like but you got super echoey robot-y, but it had cleared up. Okay, okay, as long as it cleared up, but
Yeah,
do let us
it was
know.
probably something like that then.
Ah. Oh, we got
It
raided. We got
happens every now.
raided. Hi Owen. Hello, thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome.
Who
We're
dares wander into the bear domain?
yes, exactly. You wandered into the bear forest. And we're doing art. Can you imagine? Like you wander into a forest, you just see like two bears just like paint on their paws and whatnot. Or if we're being realistic with what we're really doing, we're like in front of two computers with just like mice.
And yet, like you say this, you know who I can absolutely see? Just you're randomly in a forest, you turn around a tree, and you see someone hunched over a computer. That's absolutely a random thing.
I was gonna say that's very random coded what you're saying right now. Two bears painting on a tree. Yeah, yeah. You turn the corner and Randon's also there, just like hunched over, just like he's talking to chat. He's like, couple of aunties in my chat, couple of bad actors. All this if you go to the forest. If you guys really want to touch
Ah,
grass, consider the forest. Little aunties.
you know what's always a fun thing since I always put all the colors on the same layer. Just all right, so we're all done here. Let's just go ahead and whoop.
Yeah, I think oh no, my colors. They're gone.
You're like that one Powerpuff Girls bad guy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the one where they played it was that really catchy song at the end to like restore the it was a mime. It was a mime, right?
Uh,
And then he became a clown when his colors were like restored.
yeah, because he was a clown, then he became a mime, then he became a clown again.
Mm-hmm.
Because Powerpuff Girls was weird with its single episode villains.
Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah. Did you hear? Also, let me just say hi to some people really quick. Let's see. So, thanks again for the raid, Owen. If you have to raid and run, no worries. Thank you for trusting me with your audience. But also, your stream was really fun with the. I was watching a little bit of the iRacing and then the where we were all racing. That was really fun. But hello, Mowo. Hello, Baba Nana. Hello, hello. Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thanks for the raid, and feel free to chill too if you want. We're just doing some art stuff right now. Just eating rice out of a hole in the dirt. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, it was a fun stream. We crashed the last few laps, but we'll get them next time. Exactly. Yeah, everyone get your stickers. So what I was gonna ask you, Height, is are you aware? Are you a fan of the Gorillas, the band?
Um, not so much. Not that I don't like them. I just never really listened to them too much.
Sure, no worries. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I get
that
that.
that, that I was someone who, growing up, didn't get too much into music,
Mm-hmm.
but hearing the stuff that was popular when I should have been listening to music, like I found a lot that I've liked. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say yes, but just know that I don't know much about it.
Yeah, no worries. I was a big fan of the Gorillas back when I was like in high school, and I more so listened to their older stuff, but you know the shtick with them that they're kind of like animated band members.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing, and they have four members. They have oh no, I'm gonna show that I'm a fake fan by forgetting their names. But there's Murdoch, who's kind of like the usual like British like no good Nick, I guess. And then there's 2D. He's like I guess in modern terms he'd be kind of like the sad boy, but I don't know if he really is a sad boy. And then there's Noodle, and then there is what was the last one's name? I don't know if anyone in chat can remember, but the drummer, it was like Rufus or Ronald, something like that. Um, anyway, the reason why I bring that up, Height, is because Murdoch was in story. They also have like a storyline going on, which I don't
Yeah,
really
that's
follow
the
that
one
closely.
thing that I was aware of was like there's a story that goes on and something or other
Yes, so
something's happening.
yeah, Murdoch, who if you, I could actually
Eh,
get. Oh no, okay. I was like, what happened?
hey,
So pink. Actually, let me get a picture of Murdoch because he was replaced. I don't think the person who voiced like his voice actor was replaced. But the character was replaced. Like they did this whole. It's almost like VTuber lore, but like
yeah,
he got
and they
replaced.
they kind of they kind of did a lot of that stuff first, I think.
Let me see. I'm just gonna put a picture of Murdoch just so that I can kind of paint a picture here. He was replaced. I'm gonna put him here in the pure ref. There we go. He looks like
Hmm.
this, just like a no good Nick. You know, he wasn't replaced. He went to jail in the story. He went to jail, and
Ah,
he was replaced by. Hold on, I'm gonna put this in the pure ref. Oh my god, that picture is huge. He's replaced by Ace, who is a character from the Powerpuff Girls. He's one of the Gangrene
right. He's
Gang.
one of the Gangrene Gang. Yeah.
Yeah. And like me who had not been like keeping up with like gorillas at all was just like that is the most random thing that like
It
that you
really
could get away
is.
with. Yeah, I kind of just put both their pictures up just to like I guess you could say that they both have that look of being like for one green skin, two like no good Nick, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's legitimately just him. It's not even like
It's not even an homage, like it's literally him.
no, that's not even like the fake Pokemon we put on the action replay packaging because we can't put
Yeah,
actual Pokemon on here.
exactly. Exactly. So I don't know, it was just wild. It was just wild to see that. But that's really the only thing that I know about contemporary, gorillas. Other than that, it's all like stuff that I remember from high school. People are saying that gorillas exist in the PPG universe. This is canon. That's how it went.
Really.
Ace is in multiple music videos. The creator of PPG
So,
said, "Yup, that's him. He's in the gorillas now."
because that means they also exist in the Dexter's Lab as well as the Samurai Jack universe.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Because yeah, those are all part of the same. Well, I actually didn't know
Uh,
about Samurai Jack, right? Like,
Samurai Jack occasionally has like a scene of a ruined city or something, and
mm-hmm.
one of them had a billboard with the talking dog
Oh my
thing
gosh,
from Powerpuff Girls.
that's right. There was a little talking dog. Oh my gosh, it's real. It's the city of Townsville. Oh my PNG actually
Oh,
stopped moving. So Let me go ahead and reset that. It happens occasionally.
Your telepathy is growing in.
Yes, students, you're able to hear my voice quite clearly.
I know you can hear my thoughts, Bart. And if I find out you cut class, your ass is mine.
That's
That's
right.
right. I think words I would never say.
And then Homer, I know you can read my thoughts, boy. Meow, 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 meow. Dude, I was waiting to like talk about Simpsons stuff too, because I know that you're also like a Simpsons super fan too,
Oh yeah.
right?
I watched them a bit too much as a kid.
No such thing as too much. Did your parents also, or did your like caregivers also like have a thing where it's like, okay, the kid's talking too much, put on the Simpsons VHS, and it wasn't like an
Not
official
really,
VHS?
but
Mm-hmm.
we there were a couple things like that when I was a lot younger, but no, through my teens it was all just um it was the local WB station ran two Simpsons episodes a night,
Oh,
and then there'd be a new episode on Fox on Sundays.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. So you had it local too.
Yeah, so I got to watch a ton of Simpsons
Oh,
when I
that's
was growing up.
sick. I just
It
had the
it got
VHS
to the
tape.
point of yeah, I have a couple DVDs. I think I have the the DVD box that everyone likes to hate because it's in a weird plastic shell shaped like Homer's head.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one. And it kind of
It,
like ruins the theming of like the other VHS, or sorry,
yeah, because
DVD sets.
the other were just in like regular DVD boxes, and this one is in a hard plastic shell that if your shelf you were using was like the size for standard DVD cases, it wouldn't fit there.
Ah, jeez. But they got to do it for the novelty.
Right.
We had an hour 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's what Super Mega Man X said. And Aura
Mm.
said, "Ask about the Don't You Dare redeem." I think I redeemed that one, didn't you? Where you just share
Yeah,
like,
because I do because for those who have not been on my channel, first off, shame on you. You should
yeah, you
check
guys
me
should
out
follow
sometime.
White Height.
No, just kidding. But I do have a channel point redeem. It's literally just named "Don't You Dare," and because what it is you redeem that, I will immediately go off on a tangent about any opinion or something I have about any of the works of Matt Groening. Doesn't even have to be The Simpsons. I could because like I've talked about my favorite Futurama episode.
Oh
I talked about
yes,
I talked about some good Simpsons bits like the monorail song.
monorail.
Um and the reason why I made the redeem was there was a point where I spent like a solid 5 minutes talking about how his other show, Disenchantment, that's on Netflix, is not nearly as bad as the internet likes to say it is, and they all need to just suck up and accept the fact that it's a different show from Futurama.
Ah, so that's the hot take, right? Or that's a
Yeah,
hot take.
I apparently am in the minority of actually liking that show, which is kind of weird because good show.
I never checked it out, but I'd be willing to give it a chance. I was a
It
huge, or am a huge like Futurama fan too.
mm, it actually has like an overarching story. Admittedly,
Oh,
think I think seasons 2 and 3, it basically just does story episode for the first and last episode, and then episodic bullshit for the rest.
ah, so I could see why
But
people would dislike it. Yeah.
it does kind of build some stuff up as it goes. But I think for the second and third season, most of the actual story progression is just on the cap episodes.
Mm.
But I think it's good, and I think it suffers a lot from here I go again. Um,
No, go for it. Go for it.
so I saw this when Futurama was new. Was that there were a lot of people who dismissed Futurama because it was very different from The Simpsons. And
Mm.
from the creator of The Simpsons, a lot of people expect it to be, oh, it's The Simpsons, but it's sci-fi, and that if you've watched Futurama, you know
It's
that's
not
not
quite,
really what it
yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
It has its own style, it has its own thing it's going for, and I feel like the same thing happened with Disenchanted or Disenchantment or whichever it is, I can't remember. Is that now people are like, we like Futurama. Here's another show he made. Why isn't it like Futurama?
Ah, I see. Cause yeah, I
That's
think
my main theory here.
yeah, cause I remember seeing a video essay by I want to say Super Eye Patch Wolf or someone else where they talk about like the whole thing with like, oh, new Simpsons is crap, it's old Simpsons was always good, blah blah blah. Which I still kind of like. I feel like that does still kind of hold true. But if you were to go back and see the reviews that people gave for some of like our well beloved Simpsons episodes, like people would be surprised on like some of the
Mhm.
critique that some of those favorite episodes got. Like there are people all the way back in like season 2 that's like, oh, Simpsons is falling off. Like they're not using that slang because that's like more like
Right,
2000
right,
slang,
right.
but they're
But
saying like, oh yeah, like the Simpsons is like going downhill from here. Season 2, mind you.
the show hadn't even actually like gotten anywhere for season two.
Exactly. So, I think that goes to show that like no matter what there's going to be critics, and then like sometimes we tend to like forget the
Mm,
the context of like what was happening at the time, and it's very like much a nostalgia, like looking through rose colored glasses or whatever the saying is,
yeah.
type deal.
And here's the thing. I will acknowledge because new Simpsons, it's hard to compare it to old Simpsons because they're very different shows now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since you have a completely different writing staff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and frankly, you have a different audience you're catering to as
It's
well because
true.
the audience that you had before is older now, and then you have a new adult audience that is coming in, and so it's like you kind of got to cater a little bit to what they would like. If it does that well, I have no idea. I haven't watched Simpsons in years.
Yeah, there was
But
that Super Eye Patch Wolf video says that like it's not as like I think the worst seasons were the ones where like they mostly focus on the fact that it was like a guest star, and
oh
then
yeah,
yeah, like that was kind of
like
like
around
the
like the 13th to I guess 18th or whatever season, it was just all guest stars all the time.
yeah, like those seem to be like the worst of it, where like Super Eye Patch Wolf argues that like there are some gem, like yes, like it has changed, mostly because like our generation has now like not necessarily aged out of it, but yeah, it's a new audience that's watching it, but there are some episodes that are like kind of diamonds in the rough, so to speak.
Hmm.
The one thing that baffles me though, like I did happen upon like especially when I was working, I like to put on video essays in the background, and I saw one that was like, oh yeah, the flexible or the floating timeline of the Simpsons. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have.
Just
I mean,
I didn't know that that was a thing, but yeah, like how do we explain it for people in chat that don't know what floating timeline is?
so I think the easiest point would be to explain the fact that there have been about 4 or 5 episodes that cover like how Homer met Marge or how they started dating, and each of them basically takes place in a different decade.
Yes. Yes.
And we're at the point now where they're saying that Homer met Marge during a time when The Simpsons would have been a currently on running show.
Mhm. Mhm. Cuz I think someone said that currently Homer used to be Gen No, he wasn't even Gen X. He was a boomer, right? Was he a
Yeah,
boomer?
because yeah, because he was he was originally a teenager in
The 70s or
the
was it
70s, I believe. He I think he was born in the late 60s. Yeah,
I think so.
you know what? I can look this up because we got like a shot of his ID once.
Oh, nice.
I
Cause
remember people wishing Homer a happy 50th birthday at some point.
oh
Oh,
wow.
it's even worse than we thought. According to this, he is. Let me see if I can get the actual on show one. Yeah, the first time we see his driver's license in the show, it says that he was born in 1956.
Oh wow. Yeah. So that's like
So he was absolutely boomer territory.
yeah, which is crazy to think about. He's a boomer, but now I think he's a millennial. He's like our age.
He's at least Gen X, if not millennial.
Yeah, which is crazy because Bart used to be the one that would be a millennial. Now he's what, Gen Z or Gen Alpha?
He he's 10 right now. He'd be Gen Alpha.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you're right.
So
Oh lordy.
these days Bart should be watching like his Skibbity Toilet and whatever.
Yeah, which I do think like there's probably if not already, like there's probably an episode where he is doing that.
Yeah, I'm sure they've ham-fistedly attempted a parody of Skibbity Toilet by now.
Probably. Probably. By the way, this was like quite a while ago, but Mega Bronson said that he liked Enchanted, but only saw season 1.
Mm, you should keep watching it, sir.
Mm-hmm. But I do agree that Futurama is also just a different vibe. Like,
Mhm.
well, for one, they had different writers, right?
Yeah, Futurama rather famously having the most overqualified writing staff in history.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, because some of
Because
those jokes are. Mhm.
half of the writing staff for Futurama have PhDs.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's incredible. Because there are a couple of jokes in there that are a little like they're funny by default, but they're funnier if you like kind of like get certain like scientific things. One of them that I didn't get right away is there's like a horse race, and it's not, it's
I
probably like an
somehow
alien
knew you
horse.
were I somehow knew you were gonna go into this one, but go ahead.
Yeah, like it's like I don't know if it's like a horse race or something, but like when two horses finish at the same time, they measure it, and like one of them just beats them by a nose, and Professor Farnsworth says, "That's no fair. You changed the outcome by observing it." And like that
Yeah.
kind of flew over my head as a kid. I was like, "What does that mean?" but to those who don't understand the joke, like there is like some things in quantum. I feel like Whitehead, you might be able to explain it better than me, but like in quantum
Oh,
physics,
absolutely not.
isn't it? It's kind of like the Schrodinger's cat thing, where it's like you can change the outcome, or like you can confirm or change the outcome or something by looking at it, by observing it. And I think that's what the joke was. But for me, I'm like, I that flew over my head. Like, and there's I think the more accessible one is there's the Schrodinger's. It's a later episode, but there's a joke about Schrodinger's cat. Did you see that one?
Hmm.
Where I think Fry is like a
That
cop or something.
that depends. Was that in the Comedy Central seasons?
That's a good. I feel like it's the season that had. Do you remember like what's her name? The one who was from Game of Thrones. She played Daenerys. She was a guest star in one of the episodes where she actually likes Zoidberg. So it's a later
That
series
that
season.
had to be a Comedy Central one then.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I actually haven't watched very much of the Comedy Central ones. I have another unpopular opinion about that.
Oh man.
I don't really like the Comedy Central Futurama episodes.
Well, the thing is
I
like they're not as memorable for me because I didn't watch it a lot, so I don't really have an opinion on them. But I don't, yeah,
I
go for it. Like,
from what I've seen from the ones I've seen, and I think I did watch the entire first Comedy Central season, but like it feels very fan fictiony, and
mm.
they don't seem to be like, I don't know. It's just there's something that's not quite the same about it, and there's definitely none of that like long-term payoff thing, like how in the very first episode you can see Nibbler's shadow
Yeah.
when Fry gets put in the tube. Like
Yeah.
there's definitely none of that, and there seems to be a weird amount of retconning going on too.
Oh, I see.
So I tend to not like that one very much. I liked the movies.
I also
They were
like
all
the movies, yeah.
they were all right,
I try to remember
but
like
like
mhm.
yeah, I just something about the Comedy Central episodes didn't really mesh well with me. That's why I was not even remotely excited when, I mean, for various other reasons, but when Hulu picked them up again to make more episodes.
Mhm. I still haven't checked those out, to be honest. And like I haven't heard much like well, I don't know who I would hear it from, but like I just haven't heard much about how those episodes fared, you know? Like whether they were funny or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I got no idea, and I don't think I really have an interest in checking it out because the Comedy Central ones just weren't doing it for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which isn't
Yeah.
which isn't to say that they're bad. If you like them, then that's fine. You can like them.
But yeah, for you
And that's
personally, yeah.
yeah, and that's another thing that like really, I don't know, it bothers me with some people of like they think that like there's people who will go around thinking like, oh well, if I don't like something, then everyone who does like it is stupid because they don't see it my way. And
Mm.
like there, I think there needs to be more understanding from people that like literally nothing is for everybody.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, there's going to be people who like it and people who hate it. I absolutely 100% guarantee that there's someone who hates the fact that they have to eat and breathe in order to live. So
This
like,
sucks. Why can't I do this? But why can't it be like that person from Wally, where everyone can everything can just be done for me?
yeah. So like, literally everything is going to have people who like it and people who dislike it,
True.
and so I don't think really that there's too much in the way of objectively bad thing because
Hmm.
someone likes it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's some like infamous folks who like I just remember I don't watch him that much, but Donkey I mean sorry, Beans watches this guy Donkey a lot, and he had this whole video about like yeah, like different strokes for different folks. There's someone out there's he named him, I don't know the name of the person, but there's a movie critic who is infamous for like saying like I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but think of like everyone's favorite movie. There, like this person will be like, "Yeah, that's trash. That's dog poop." However, I'm trying to think of like Fantastic Four. That was a fantastic movie, you know, like something that like a lot of people are like, "Yeah, that was terrible."
It just brings out something that's just like collectively panned. Just
Yeah,
be like, that's my jam right there.
yeah, like he's infamous for doing that. I have to find it, but like it was Donkey making this point of like, yeah, there are people out there that will do that.
Just like, oh yeah, The Room, cinematic
Yeah,
masterpiece.
yeah. Like for sure, there's someone out there that thinks that.
I
It.
still need to watch The Room sometime.
Oh,
Actually,
I love it.
I've I've gone out of my way, excuse me, to watch a couple pretty bad movies. I have seen Birdemic, Shock and Terror no fewer than 8 times.
Birdemic? Isn't that the next pandemic that's coming to the US that has already like, made
And that is, I'm of the opinion that it is a movie that should be shown in film schools because they get absolutely everything possible wrong.
That sounds enjoyable to watch. Like is it
There's a
like so
reason
bad it's
why I've
good?
watched it. Like, here's the thing. For me, it's a so bad it's good because you can laugh at how absolutely horrible it is. I have shown it to people where it loops all the way back around again to being so bad it's bad every single time. Because here's the thing, I watched it first with a friend of mine. we watched it because of a particular internet reviewer that I will not name because of issues I have with him since.
Ah.
But
Mm-hmm.
um, like because it was one of those situations of like we were just hanging out. It's like 1 a.m. We don't feel like, just like he doesn't feel like going home yet. We don't feel like necessarily starting up a video game or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're just scrolling through Netflix, and then we see it, and we just turn to each other. We're like, "Do you wanna?" And so we watch this god
Oh
awful,
my gosh.
this absolutely god awful movie, and we proceed to watch it over and over again, showing it to as many people as we can.
I mean, did you like after a
I
while like is that when it got so bad it's good that it's bad?
For me it never stopped being good because I love laughing at how absolutely terrible it is. I I've met one person um who actually like wanted to tap out and be like, I can't take this
I
anymore.
can't do this.
And that was immediately after we watched the movie Rubber on his recommendation.
I've never heard of that. Like I'm not much of like a movie connoisseur. Like it's actually Beans who like is the movie
Okay.
guy, but
So Rubber kind of goes the other way. It is an intentionally bad movie.
oh, but then isn't that a
So
little like
it but it does it as like a comedic thing. So it's a movie about a sentient tire with psychic powers that
okay.
rolls around and blows people up using its psychic powers,
That sounds freaking awesome.
right?
Oh wait, I just realized that Mega Bronson left a long comment. So I saw a post recently about how the original writers of The Simpsons, in this case Futurama, were better writers because they were nerds on topics they were writing about, whereas a lot of writers now are fans of the show that they're writing and it's lost its charm. Ah,
Yeah,
interesting.
it definitely feels that way. And I feel like it's happened a few times where a show lasts long enough for fans of the early parts to be able to then work on new ones. Maybe not even the same show, but like maybe like a reboot series or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it happens a few times where like you then get someone who was a fan of the original writing new ones, and then it just starts getting a little too, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to put it, but
Yeah. It loses the charm. Yeah.
a lot. Sometimes they can just be a little too into themselves.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. Totally agree. Um
Oh yeah.
and then
And
mhm.
Ara's saying here Conan O'Brien was one of the best Simpsons writers.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah.
Him, Bill Oakley, and Josh Weinstein. Those are going to be. If you see a Simpsons episode and you see it in the written by any of those three names come up, it's a good episode for sure.
Oh yeah, did one of them come back? Like there was like a famous not famous, but like one of the old writers kind of came back after a while. I wouldn't know who it is because I don't really pay attention that much to like the kind of info, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't actually paid attention to anything going on with The Simpsons for years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mega Bronson said Bill Oakley. Okay.
Mm. Kind
Yeah.
of interesting for him to show up without Josh Weinstein because they kind of
Are they the Lenny and Carl of
they kind of did a lot of stuff together. Like after The Simpsons, they did, oh, what was that show called? Mission Hill.
Oh my gosh, what a blast from the past. Is that the one where main character has like blue hair or like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't quite. I keep on accidentally doing Control T. The art style kind of reminds me of like a little bit of Daria, but a little bit of like the Oblongs. Like I can't quite.
yeah. It is kind of like a weird midpoint there. Yeah, no, I had some feelings about Mission Hill. I think it's overall a perfectly fine show.
Mm-hmm.
Of there was one character on it I really liked, and I can't quite recall what his name was. But anyway, yeah, that's I know they went to do that after they stopped being on The Simpsons.
Oh, I had no idea. I still walk around and go bling blong all the time. Is that from Mission Hill?
Yeah, that's what the kid would do, just bling blong, bling blong, bling blong. The thing, okay, so Mega Bronson, you would probably know this then. Every now and then, I'll have a quote from Mission Hill pop into my head. It's the one where they're like at dinner with I keep forgetting the characters' names. It's been so long. Like one of the kid had like a girlfriend or something, but everyone called her Weirdy, and so his brother's like he calls her that when they're at the table like with her parents and everything, and he's trying to cover, and he's like, Weirdy, Weirdy beans at, Weirdy beans at, Weirdy beans at.
Where did beans at?
And for some reason, that pops in my head constantly.
Is that
Usually when I'm looking for something.
where do beans?
Where do beans at? Where do beans
Where
at?
do beans at? There's like a Twitter, there's always like one of those Twitter threads that goes like kind of viral, and one of them was like, "What's your vocal stim?" And I was like, I wasn't sure what that meant until it's like, "What's just like a vocal line or delivery that's just always in your head?" And I think that's your example, right? Like, where do beans at? Because you
And then
saying that reminds me of it's more recent, but that one TikTok, "What the dog doing?"
yeah. And then that puts into my head, there's a picture floating around that's like a diagram of someone's brain, but it's just filled with Simpsons quotes.
yeah.
It's just themed hands. The big one equals bitey.
The big one equals bite. There was one that Random mentioned today where it was like Johnny Tightlips, and I was like kind of surprised to see that I remember like everything from Johnny Tightlips. It was like, "Where'd they get you, Johnny Tightlips? I ain't saying nothing. What do I tell the doctor? Tell him go suck a lemon." Or I like the one that you do sometimes where it's like, "I'm seeing double. 4 babinkas."
Yes.
Oh my
It's just,
gosh.
I don't know. There's just so much quotable about a lot of The Simpsons and Futurama too.
Oh, I got rotated. Milky rotated me. Hello, Milky.
I like that new redeem.
Oh, thank you. Oh my god, I was racking my head trying to figure. I think you can also, I feel like anyone with like a PNG, maybe even like a VTuber one, there is a technique to it, but it took me forever to like find a forum post that like, oh, I messed up. But yeah. You have to have do you have the Move plugin for OBS?
I do not.
So that's what helps me with some of my screen transitions. Let me just finish this like block of color and I'll show you. There's this transition I like from like, I have like my stream is set up like a classroom. So there's this part of the room, but then there's also this part of the room. Oh man, I made your Fugi super big on the other part of the room. Yeah, you're sentient now. But yeah, so you're seeing how it's almost like you're moving through the room itself. That's because of a plugin called Move, and a lot of streamers kind of swear by it. But that's how I'm doing the get rotated redeem, is like it's kind of like technical, but if I was able to figure out, I'm not a huge, like I'm not a tech person by any means.
And, I'm sure I could figure it out, given enough time. It's just that, I'm still at the point where I'm like, yeah, I got something to appear on screen. Go me.
No, same. Like that's why like the get rotated redeem is kind of like that. It's fairly simple, but like it took me forever to like figure out. So, but I feel like anyone with a PNG can kind of make it work. So it's fun. It's fun. My next one is I want to figure out how to get squished by a hydraulic press I feel like that might be weird out of context, but like, cause like I'm manually like making myself squished right now. So I feel
Mm.
like there's a way to like make it automatic where like there's a
If
redeem where you guys just squish me with a press.
if you could, what would make that great is like how if you could make it so that like have a little animation at the end where how sometimes when like they the hydraulic press guys will like do something that's like a squishy texture and it just like shoots out in these like Play-Doh ribbons.
Well, yeah. Oh no, you would squish me and like just like ribbons of babinka come out. Oh no, I'm actually made out of like babinka the rice cake all along. Oh, Aura said that my voice stim would be the line from CDI Alice in Wonderland game when you pick up the wrong dialogue for NPC, they leave in the narrator deadpans, "They've gone away." Oh my gosh.
I have to admit I don't know much about CDI games beyond the fake Nintendo games.
I also don't. I just know the well the infamous like Legend of Zelda ones, right?
uh I do have to admit that that was some of the first stuff that I ever put up on YouTube was YouTube poop
Oh yeah.
because I mean it was the thing to do at the time if you knew anything about how to splice clips together and wanted to put something on YouTube. I
It's
wasn't very
true.
good at it, but
The thing is, like, I actually like have never watched a YouTube poop before. Well, I have, but it was because a friend showed it to me. But I remember back in the day when they were like all the rage. I don't know. For me, I was like, I'm this uppity little like teenager slash like 20 something. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch something called YouTube poop. That sounds gross. But now it's like, now that I don't take myself as seriously, like,
uh,
maybe it's
and
time.
I mean half of it was just stupid stuff where people would like I don't know, just like change a clip around so that like it sounds like they're saying something other than what they are, or just like
Mm-hmm.
use audio from one clip in another, or like the example, like there's a lot of them would use like stuff from not just the Zelda but the Mario one, Hotel Mario,
Mm-hmm.
and one that sticks in my head for some reason. There's a line in one of the cutscenes in Hotel Mario where he's disabling an electrical system by like inserting toast into like the 50 toasters that they have.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like the original line he says, "You know what they say, all toasters toast toast." And this YouTube poop changed the line so he says, "You know what they say, toast toasters toast toast." It's and that's the thing. It's like it's all stupid stuff like that, and I don't know why that one in particular stays in my head.
Wait, because for me, that's like those songs where they edit it so it's just one line over and over and over. I think my favorite is the All Star one where they just make it so it just repeats, and the years stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and
Yeah,
they don't
that's one of
stop
my
coming.
favorites of those.
And then I don't know if it's Jonas Brothers because it's a little after my time, I guess speaking as an
Hmm.
old lady, but there's one where it's a song that starts with like, you're insecure, and someone edited it so the whole song is just, you're insecure, you're insecure, you're insecure. And it's like, yeah, actually, indeed, I am insecure. How did you know, Jonas Brothers? Oh, sorry, my cat wants out. They were actually fighting behind me before,
Ah,
but I'll be right back. I'll
uh-huh.
actually zoom out so we could see your arts, but I'll be back.
I know. And now for a few seconds, I have to carry the show. How's it going, people in the internet land? I've I've definitely done a poor job of staying on theme.
All right, I'm back, and no worries. I've been digging your drawings. I didn't comment on it, but I like this one. The Mr. Is it Mr. Stop and Watch?
the the Mr. Game and Watch,
Game and
yeah,
Watch.
he's
Yeah, there you go. Mr. Stop
my.
and Watch.
To be fair, I think they did have a stopwatch function.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like the Kirby and then the Bibinkub. The
Yeah, and I'm always drawing Kirby just because, like, that's how I started drawing stuff. Like, aside from like stick figure people, it was Kirby stuff. Always Kirby shit.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me before that you've played. Have you played all the Kirby games? Like every single one of them?
Almost all of them. I fell
Ooh.
off for a bit during the time of my life that like I may be unemployed right now, but it's nowhere near the time of my life that I just call the poor times.
Oh no.
That was back when I first started apartment living and I worked for a Red Circle retail store.
Oh, I see, I see.
And yeah, you can't exactly afford rent and video games when you work at Red Retail Store.
Mmm.
So, it actually took me a long time to play Return to Dreamland, which was the Wii one. I think
Okay.
I actually ended up pirating that one, but
Oh no, you mean that you got it
besides the point.
completely legally and
Yes,
you
completely
know.
legally on my Wii that I definitely didn't make any modifications to.
Yeah, definitely.
um, there was one for the Wii U that I didn't play. It was not. I don't know if it's a sequel or just a follow up to the DS one, which was Canvas Curse, which is the one where he was just a ball that scoots around and you draw paths for him.
That's so
They
cute.
made they made a follow up for the Wii U, and I didn't play that one.
Oh, I got a new
But
follower.
I've been
Thank you, Fauna dear. Thanks for joining the class. But sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like I kind of want to look into it, but also like I mean, I used to use the excuse of, but I don't have a Wii U, except I can't make that excuse anymore because
With
Seishun has a Wii U.
Oh, I was gonna say like emulation too, but yeah.
There is also emulation, but if I wanted to play it legit,
Ah.
Seishun does have a Wii U that I could hook
Ah.
up.
Isn't that nice
But
though to be able to play the games that you missed out on as a kid? Because for me, Beans never had an N64, but
oh wow.
I never had a GameCube. So I've
Ah.
never played any of the Zeldas that are like on the GameCube or the Wii actually. I never had a Wii growing up. So now
Hmm.
it's there, the opportunity is there, but I'm also just like, I also just want to do my own thing for now.
Right. Yeah, and then the most recent Kirby game, the 3D one, and I say that like there hasn't been any with 3D graphics. There've been plenty with 3D graphics. They made one that is actually like 3D gameplay for once. I
Ooh.
own it, but I didn't get very far in it. That's what
Oh, that's
Kirby,
the newest one, right? The Switch
yeah,
one?
Forgotten Land, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I played a
I
teensy
don't know.
bit of it.
Yeah, I played some of like the first couple stages, and then something pulled me away from it. I don't know what it was. Frankly, I might play it on stream sometime just to get through it.
Yeah. It'd be a cool one to play. Also Fauna Deer says these are good bears. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so
Mm.
I'm Babinka Bear. I'm an artist historian and art historian, and then we're collabing with Vite Height the Wizard Bear, who is the poster on the board right now.
Yes, I exist entirely in a paper format.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, but yeah, like I'm just curious about like the Kirby games because, like I said, I've only played the N64 one and a teensy bit of the Switch one. But do is it kind of like I heard that Nintendo has the thing of like each game that they make always has a shtick, of course, as all games
Hmm.
do. But with Mario, the basic shtick is that he jumps. That's his thing. Like
Right.
he was Jumpman. Um, and then with Kirby, like he sucks things up and like adopts their powers. So like, has it always been that way since like day one? Since like The was it Dreamland, the one that you said?
Yes and no, because
Mm.
Kirby's Dream Land, that was the first one that was on the Game Boy. He did suck in enemies. He did not copy powers from them though. It was
Oh,
it was
interesting.
entirely suck things in and spit them out to do damage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the only game where that's, well, actually, that I don't think that's technically true anymore now that I think about it, because there was another Kirby game on the Wii that I didn't play, and I haven't played since, purely out of a principle. But that was uh Kirby's Epic Yarn. I haven't
Oh.
I haven't played it because I don't consider it to be an actual Kirby game, because it got the Star Fox Adventures treatment. I don't know if you know the history behind that.
No, I did see. Me and Beans watched this person, Matt McMuscles, who has a series called "What Happened," and it's usually about like games that have had like a difficult, I guess like development cycle, and like even if it's not a bad game, like it just like had a difficult development cycle. And I do see that there's a fair amount of like Star Fox games on there. There's always Sonic games on that series. Like
Oh yeah.
it's rough. Like and like I said, it doesn't even have to be a bad game. It's just like ones that like
Mm.
were rough to
Yeah, and
develop.
like I can summarize it pretty succinctly.
Yeah, go
Star
for it.
Fox Adventures, which was on the GameCube, started off as a game, as a completely unrelated to Star Fox game called Dinosaur Planet. In fact, the main character was going to be Crystal, who became a side character in that.
Ooh.
Um, and it has, Zelda style gameplay, but for some reason development was shaky, and it eventually got pulled into um making it a Star Fox related game for some reason, possibly to boost interest so that people would buy it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how that wound up happening. And the very same thing happened with Kirby's Epic Yarn. I think the character that was going to be the main character ends up being the second player character, and it was originally going to be a game about this character and like Yarn World and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere during development, it got, like, Kirby got shoehorned into it, and then I hesitate to call it a Kirby game
Mm.
because, like, it's missing a lot of the key gameplay element that would make a Kirby game. Like, he doesn't have the copy abilities, he doesn't have his floating, as far as I'm aware, and
So basically, it feels shoehorned. It doesn't like feel like it was ever intended
yeah.
to be Kirby. It just feels like it
And then
just so
they
happens
just
to have a
brought
Kirby
in the
skin.
Kirby characters to be in it too.
Mm. Dang, that's rough.
That's
And
how I feel about that.
yeah, and like that's what I noticed with a lot of those like Matt McMuscles videos, the What Happened videos, is that it's always some kind of like, there's a story of like there's some ambitious developers or storytellers who would just want to like make a game, and then usually there's some kind of executive or higher up meddling that's like, but what if we did
Yeah.
something different and this is gonna get the audiences going, and it's usually it's like, yeah, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea all around.
Yeah, just make the game about Poochie.
I must go. My planet needs me. Toot, 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 toot.
Yeah, no, but so I should go ahead and put at the end of that, like, take my opinions on the game with a grain of salt, because one, I haven't played it. Two, I'm an old man that yells at clouds who, I got upset as a kid because Kirby 64 didn't use the same music for the invincibility candy that had been used for Kirby up to that point.
Oh, it's not like the. Well, I know the Mario one, the
Yeah.
like that one, yeah.
And yeah, like, Kirby had used the same music for the invincibility candy, and then Kirby 64 used a different one, and child me just couldn't accept that and got really upset.
Unacceptable.
So, take my opinions on things that I dislike with a grain of salt.
It's
Because
understandable
it
though.
it could easily just be me being an old man who yells at clouds. There's a good reason. I'll slap it in the chat right now. There's a good reason that that's one of my emotes.
Yeah. Old man yells at clouds. My favorite quote from Abe Simpson is it bears repeating, but it's the one where it's like, I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was, and now what's it is weird and strange to me. And it'll happen to you. And Homer's like, no it won't. And he's like, now he's balding.
No way, man. We're gonna keep
Yeah.
rocking forever.
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 And the best part of that joke is it fades back to him in present day, and he's actually saying it, still forever.
Forever. No, yeah, oh my gosh. That's such a... See, there's just so many vocal stems from The Simpsons. Just period. Okay, there we go. I think, oh no, I messed up somewhere when I was merging all the layers.
Uh-oh.
No, I think we're good now. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. I did you in my style, I guess. Actually,
looks very nice.
Thanks. Let me put some highlights on it. I've been cheating by using the lasso brush, or it's not really cheating if you're just using the tools that are available to you in the program. But
yeah, it's like I tell the Elden Ring snobs who don't like when people use the mimic tier. Use the tools at your disposal. They're there for a reason.
Exactly.
If it makes your life easier, who cares if you took the easy way?
Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay, I said bears repeating. Kirby 64 is my favorite Kirby because of the ability mixing. That one was like...
The ability mixing was pretty neat.
I liked it. The only thing that I tried to replay it recently because I think it was available on the Switch. The only thing is those if you're what's it called, like a completionist, and you want to get those secret ones, you always need a very specific combo in order to like break a rock or something in order to get that last. I forgot, was it a star or was it it was a shard, right? A crystal shard?
The crystal shards. That's hence the subtitle.
Yeah, you're
of the game.
right. You're right.
Did you know that Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, is technically the third game of a trilogy?
I didn't know that. What's the rest of the trilogy?
Kirby's Dream Land 2 and Kirby's Dream Land 3 come before it, and they're what's referred to by the fan base as the Dark Matter trilogy, because that's who the primary antagonist is in all of them.
Oh, okay.
It's black space gunk named Dark Matter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You fight one of them in Dreamland 2, and then you come back and you fight like the big boss one of it in Dreamland 3 that's called Zero because we're being edgy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also the boss that has to get censored in that collection they made for the Wii, because that's a Kirby boss that literally shoots blood at you.
Oh, jeez. I think I remember that one.
And then at the end of the Crystal Shards, you fight the revived version of him. So that's just 02. That's the one with the angel wings.
I remember that because that felt so out of place not out of place, but when I played it as a kid, it felt kind of epic, but it also felt kind of scary. You're fighting this like bleeding eye angel.
Yeah, Kirby tends to have weird tonal shift final bosses. That is like a regular thing for the series.
Kind of like the progression of Final Fantasy, where it's like, okay, we're just gonna like make a fake play, kidnap this princess, and call it a day. And then like by the end of it, spoiler alert, you're fighting God. You're fighting like the god of death or something like that. Actually, is
Yeah.
that the
And
start
then
of
you
9? It is just like them
yeah,
trying to
nine
kidnap.
nine is we're gonna put on a play as a cover to steal the princess,
Mm-hmm.
and then it ends with fighting the god of entropy
Entropy.
who has been summoned early.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And I don't know if I ever.
Because it's all about, it's a very existentialist sort of game, just all about, the reason for living and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember like the one that I also played Final Fantasy 9 a couple of times. Once as I was when I was a kid, and then again in my 20s, like on my phone, like for like from like an emulator. And then I just remember the scene with I forgot. I think it's disc 4, but I think it's after Zidane, however you pronounce it, like learns.
I pronounce it Zidane because it sounds cooler.
It sounds cooler for me too. I've always
Just like
pronounced it
I
as.
pronounce the main character of 10 as Titus, because Titus is an actual name,
It is. It
and,
is.
and Titus isn't.
And did you I think around the time that Final Fantasy X came out in the States, there was a show on Fox called Titus, but with a T. It was like
Yeah,
Titus.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Like around the same time as what was that one claymation one? Meet the PJs or something like that. It's like a claymation one
Yeah.
about a black family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like around the same time, like it was kind of that era, and then like Final Fantasy X came out. I also called him Titus for a while until I think Kingdom Hearts came out, and they confirmed that it's pronounced like Titus, and I was like, oh okay. But even when I found out how you're supposed to pronounce Zidane as Zidane, I still can't do it. I have to
It just
pronounce it as Zidane.
it just sounds cooler.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, so I don't know. I
It's kind
agree.
of like how so like there's definitely a couple Pokemon names I mispronounce.
Mm-hmm.
So like how familiar are you with Pokemon?
Pretty familiar. Like I was like I said, I think we both play for both teams of Digimon and Pokemon, right? It's
Mhm.
only the very recent like Sword and Shield and wait, Sword and Shield isn't the most recent one. What's the most recent one again? Is it Violet
Uh
and
yeah, Scarlet and
Scarlet and
Violet,
Violet?
which I
So
also have not played.
those two I've played but never completed. Everything else I've played
Mhm.
and completed. So I remember a lot of Pokemon up until a certain generation. Once it gets to the ones where it's not even Pokemon names, it's like the ancient Pokemon names where it's like, Curly, Spike or something like that's where I
Yeah.
completely like lose track of everything. But
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So my point here is third generation, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. So you have Groudon, you have Kyogre, then there's, Mr. Green Snake.
Rick,
How do you pronounce his name?
I say Rayquaza. How are you supposed to
That,
say it?
that is also how I say it.
Is
It's
that not how
apparently wrong.
it's is that not it?
It's apparently pronounced Rayquaza.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I
It's
could see
apparently
that.
how they it's apparently how they say it in the anime. I, however, am not calling it that. I like mine more.
I like mine more. Wait, I'm actually since we're talking about Pokemon, I do want to draw one of my favorites. I hate bugs. Or not hate. I used to hate bugs a lot IRL, but there's something about this Pokemon that I like a lot. Venipede. Well, actually, it's his fully evolved form, Scolipede, that I like, but I feel
Hmm.
like Venipede is gonna be easier to draw, so I'm gonna draw
He
that.
is one of the Pokemon that I have a legitimate shiny of.
Nice. Like you like kind of lucked out and like got it, or
Like I actually found it and didn't have it because I hacked it in with an action replay,
ah.
which I only ever did for competitive teams if I liked the shiny color.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because in fourth gen, I was a fair bit into the competitive online
Oh,
because
nice.
that's kind of what reignited my interest in Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
And
is it what's that one game? Oh, first of all, Dia, we missed out on a couple of chat. I'll catch up on chat in a bit, but Dia said like, "Do you have you
I will
guys seen
admit I haven't
Snom?"
been paying attention to chat.
It's okay, it's okay. I'll be going back and looking at it, but Dia asked, "Have you seen Snom?" Of course I've seen Snom. The little like
Hmm.
I can actually draw him freehand right now. There you go. Like, no, he has like, this thing going on, but
he's he's just a little guy.
he's just a little guy, yeah. But wait, what were people saying? So Tazira Boreal says that they have Jex's symbol as a tattoo and excited when people know about it. And
Ooh, that's nice.
and then Owen Aeon remembers the PJs too. Or Christopher Titus' special from the time our classic. Oh yeah, because it's named after Christopher Titus, like his last name. Megaron said there was another post about how Kirby has Lovecraftian lore and monsters. Kirby themselves is a space monster, and it's the reason why they're a sole survivor in Brawl or 3. I can't, and the latest one, right? Like, yeah, because Kirby's the only survivor of that one. Like,
The Smash Brothers thing.
yeah.
Oh, and we also have to point out that like because of how stuff turned out, Kirby riding on a warp star is faster than Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep, that's how it works now. That's the lore.
To be fair, he does use it for interplanetary travel, so it would kind of have to be.
Yeah, if you have to go like literal light years, I would imagine that would need to be faster. Not that they're like, super. I don't know. Do you think the people at Nintendo are like, well, we have to think about the fact that universes or like galaxies are light years away, and Kirby's star has to actually go that? You think? I don't know. Do you think they're?
I don't think they even remotely think about things like that. I think they're just like, this would be fun.
This would be cool. Yeah, this would be fun.
And since it was originally Hal, the developer of Kirby, that was making Smash Brothers before they passed most of the work on over to Bandai Namco, like it's no surprise that they would make Kirby essentially the main character of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm not great at fighting games, but I would watch Beans play the new
Mhm.
Smash Brothers, and it was like, dang, this is not like super dark, but it's like, oh no, all of my favorites, they're falling to the evil one.
Mhm.
This isn't fun at all.
And also, there's something that I think they've tried to say some things to say that he is just an original character, but Master Hand, especially since the development company and Kirby being in a forefront for a lot of Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Master Hand is from the Kirby Game Over Continue screen.
Oh,
I will 100% say that it is the same guy because it's just a big white glove.
I've never.
I refuse to believe that it's not the same guy.
Oh my gosh! Wait, you're right. Cause that happens in 64 too, right? Or is it just 64? Or
It's a few of the games.
because I remember that when it's game over, then like a hand like picks Kirby up, right? Or am I?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm
because
conflating memories, but
it'll either or like if you pick to continue, there have been some games where he like picks Kirby up, sets him back on his feet, and then like waves him away with a handkerchief.
aw, he's like toddle off, little soldier, as you fight
Like
this eldritch being.
I refuse to believe that they're not the same being.
Yeah, they have to be.
Because I mean, it's a white glove character in a HAL developed game. Like, how could it not be?
Yeah,
I mean, I understand. I understand it's a simple character design. It is just a hand. I saw someone trying to argue that it was one of Mario's gloves once, and I'm like, but he's
but
still
he's
wearing his gloves.
yeah, and also like Mario himself is a player in it, so unless it's some like alternate dimension, this is alternate dimension Mario where he's gotten mad with power and all that's left is his hand, something like that.
Feel like I would have read a few fan fictions to that
Oh
effect.
yeah. Super Mega Man X says like that's a good headcanon. I don't know if I entirely accept it, but I could. That's a good headcanon. Sakurai Kirby is a piece of shit. Oh, has he? Oh no. Sakurai, why?
Oh.
Okay. I'm like, I even though I said Venipede is easier to draw, this is, I forget that he's a segmented bug, so
Right.
there's quite a bit more to his design than I
Uh,
realize. But would you
no,
say
I
that
think
do you have a favorite Pokemon
um
or
I do.
favorites? Hmm.
I have several favorites, but my absolute favorite is a little obvious
Is it?
because I've drawn him on stream too. You could probably guess.
Oh no! Don't put me on the spot. I was gonna say one of the bear ones.
It is absolutely one of the bear
Oh
ones.
heck yeah, Ursaring.
Yep.
Nice.
In fact, that's the thing is like I like to say that my design is basically like a combination. It definitely takes inspiration from Ursaring,
Mm.
but I think it also takes a little bit of Kirby as well as the Prinnies from Disgaea.
Those are so cute. The Prinnies.
Yeah, and I feel like that's basically what my design boils down to, is like a
Mm.
combination of the three, and then I stick a wizard hat on myself.
No, that's a good way to make a. Well, from what I've heard, that's a good way to make a character design. Cause
Plus, it's something simple enough that I can draw it multiple times too, and that's always a thing for me too. Is like if I have to draw a character, the more I have to draw a character, the I feel like the simpler I have to make the design,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because otherwise I'm just gonna get tired of it.
No, yeah, and that's I think that's very similar to how I came about my design too, or I guess my body. The
Mm,
only thing is I'm realizing I don't really have a lot of like my influences in my design. It's just more of like colors and like design choices I like the curly parts of my fur, that kind of stuff. I don't really have bushy eyebrows IRL, but I like the idea
uh,
of bushy eyebrows. But I have heard people say that like designing an OC sometimes is just a matter of like taking all of your favorite features or favorite characters and just merging them all together.
uh-huh.
The only thing is I've never
But
had an OC, so
mm, I will actually join you in drawing a Pokemon though, because I
yeah.
do have a favorite that is not a bear.
Ooh, which one is it? Oh my God, is it Krokorok?
It is not Krokorok, but you're very close.
Sandile? Or is that
There's another one.
Totodile?
Think. Yeah, I was gonna say think earlier, and yes, Totodile.
Oh yes. Sandile's also fun. Wait, which one is it with the sunglasses? It's Sandile, right? Like
Uh, one of that line, I think.
someone in that line, yeah. I
I
think.
definitely like those ones too. Those are fun ones to use whenever I play 5th gen.
Mm-hmm.
But
But Totodile is
that's
adorable too.
that's the funny thing is like aside from the bears, my favorite Pokemon tend to be the ones with the little guy energy, and
Mm-hmm.
Totodile oozes that.
Oh yeah. Was it in the anime? Didn't he have like a kind of like a Donald Duck voice, like a?
Yeah,
I can't even do it, but
yeah.
or it says red hair,
But
green
like,
eyes, scars on cheeks are base. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. As long as you can make it in like a what's it called, a pick crew, I think you're good, right?
good old Pit Crew. What I made like half of the art for my D&D characters in.
Yeah, no, that's like a valid way to. Well, that's what I do too, so that's why I say it's valid. I don't know if there's a
That
DM out there that's like, no, it's not valid. You have to make your own damn character.
that's part of the reason why I decided, you know what, I need to draw these characters for real,
Mm-hmm.
because like half of them are Pit Crews, one of them is a Hero Forge model, and then a couple of them are actually like just flat out somebody else's art.
Yeah, still.
And it's like when you're doing a private table, that's fine
Mm-hmm.
because like it's not like you're really getting anything out of it. But like I feel like I should at least have some way to represent these characters without using, someone else's stuff or a pre-made thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, the one that I finished, I don't know if you saw where I talked about like the reference material I had to go off of for him. I Everything except for his head I came up with on the spot during that stream last night.
Oh, wow.
because because the token I used for him on the virtual tabletop was literally just his head that I drew in like a minute. Like it wasn't even like a quality drawing. I just slapped it out in a minute to have
Yeah.
something.
You just wanted to have something to kind of imagine your
Uh-huh.
character in.
And I had never really thought about everything else that would be going on with him, like what he was wearing or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a bit of a fun exercise.
It is fun,
I
yeah.
I only have one more character where that's the case, where I only have a headshot of him, but I at least have an idea of what he should look like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually the one character I made that's a bear character.
Oh,
But
nice.
I'll get into that when the time comes. That's my stream content.
I'm sure you're familiar with the copy pasta of Sir Barrington, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's one of the things that got me into D&D.
Yeah, like you telling me I could just charisma my way out of this, like I'm so sorry, Mr. Barrington. He will not bother us again.
The funny thing is, the character I drew, the illusion wizard, he actually did like an almost similar thing. Not like trying to pass himself off, but managing to convince someone who really should have known better to do something different. So like there was one point where the party's fighting like a bunch of those kobolds.
Okay.
He he decides to throw up a distraction by creating an illusion, like an illusion duplicate of one of the party members, so to confuse the kobolds into attacking it instead of him.
Oh, okay.
And he's doing this while hiding behind a wall, so he's not spotted.
Oh my god, that's like plus 10
One of,
sneak or plus 100 sneak.
one of the kobolds does a lunging attack at him, goes straight through it because it's an illusion, and winds up on the other side of the wall, gets up, looks straight at me, still has his swords drawn, and he like tries to tell the other kobolds that the one he just jumped through is a fake, but then I like have the illusion speak in his voice, and it's just like, oh, you think just because you couldn't hit me that I'm not real? You sure are fucking stupid. And it worked. And the
Oh my
kobold did another
gosh.
lunging attack at him and went through him again.
That's so I think that's like part of the charm too of like D&D is that like same with did you play Baldur's Gate at all?
Three. I'm working on a playthrough of that right. I'm actually working on 3 playthroughs of that right now.
Ooh, nice.
I have my single player file. I have a tactician mode that I'm doing with Seishun after we got absolutely devastated in honor mode. And then
Oh no.
I have a weekly one that's a 4-player one that we're going through.
A 4-player one. That sounds
It's
it sounds chaotic.
it's
Or is it good?
it is the only chaotic thing is making sure that everyone's going to show up, because all of a
Mm.
sudden you don't have to wrangle 3 other characters yourself. You only have to worry about yourself.
Mhm.
So it kind of makes the game a little different.
Okay. I I've never finished like I guess the first act. Not because I
Mhm.
dislike it, I actually like the game a lot, but I think around that time, like so many other video games were also coming out, and I just never got around to
Right.
it. But
It demands a lot of your time.
it does, and like I don't know, like if you save scum or you don't have to reveal that if you don't want to. But there are times where I'm like, oh, that outcome was kind of garbage, so I'm gonna go ahead and save scum, and like,
There's a few points where I'm like, no, I really want this to succeed. There
mm-hmm.
are a lot of things where I'll be like, I'll just let that slide.
Yeah. Exactly. But the reason I bring it up is because like the cool that's just like the charm of D&D too is like being able to like BS your way and like you don't have to worry about like whether it's been programmed into the game. You just have to worry about
Uh-huh.
whether your DM is going to approve of it or not.
Yep. And then you just, at the end of it, you just have a cool story to tell.
Exactly. That's so cool that you could just like sneak and like kind of BS your way through the kobolds.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, it was one of those situations where there was definitely some rule of cool going on
Ah, like what
because
Randon was talking about, yeah.
yeah, because technically speaking, there shouldn't have been a chance for him to like no longer fall for it because he did figure out that it was an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, what if he can just smooth talk his way through this? What if what if he can just go, hey, you know what? Oh, excuse me. 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Sorry, uh, I get some coughing fits sometimes. So
Oh, are you okay?
yeah, nah. But I'm just like, what if I can just go, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain?
That's I don't know, like it's like kind of that flexibility in like D&D that's just so charming about it. Though
Uh-huh.
that's also the only TTRPG I've really ever like engaged in. I don't know, have you played any other TTRPGs? I know like Matthew keeps mentioning a couple like Honey Heist and Goblin with a Fat Ass, but I don't know. I don't know of any other
I
ones.
I haven't actually played any others. I've looked at a few just for the sake of like brainstorming some ideas, especially in the ways of like stealing mechanics to add to a game that I want to run at some point.
Mm.
Because it's like, well, sure sucks that D&D 5th edition doesn't have this mechanic. Oh, but
Yeah.
this game does, so I could just slap it in from that.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is you got to be careful with how much you do that because you could easily reach a point of like, well, why don't if we're borrowing this many mechanics, why don't we just go play that system?
Yeah, exactly. I missed out on a couple of things in chat. One of my D&D characters was literally just Smash Brothers Zelda for art. I certainly never used copyright infringing for any of my D&D characters. Certainly not from Vassalcania. That's from Super Mega Man X. And then,
Oh
uh,
yeah, he's saying that because he's actually in one of the D&D games I'm playing right now.
mm,
His his character is a a monster hunter
ooh,
who goes around with a whip.
uh-huh.
Stop me if this sounds familiar.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know any, Belmonts or nothing.
To be fair, he doesn't actually use the art for a Belmont for his token. He
Okay.
use he uses the art for Nathan Graves, which is from Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Is one of the Game Boy Advance ones. It's also
Ah.
an it's also a non-canonical game.
Oh, okay.
So Nathan Graves doesn't really exist.
Yeah, so therefore it's fine. It's like this is a completely original character as far as I'm concerned, right?
Completely original character
Do not
who
steal,
goes around with a whip and specializes in hunting the undead.
Exactly. I've never heard of any character like that. All right, I'm just
I
totally copying the shading references from my reference,
there's
but
nothing. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And then, so Super Mega Man X also mentioned an FF14 TTRPG. Is that a thing, or is that a tongue-in-cheek reference, or?
I think that actually is a thing.
Ooh, okay.
Um, and yeah, I think that did just come out. Oh, that's right. It came out a bit ago, and they sold out, and now they're taking pre-orders for a second wave for it.
So it's really like, how does, well, not how does it work? I guess I can
It's
imagine how
really
it
a
works,
thing.
but
I can actually send you the link for the Square Enix store from it,
sure.
because that's it right there. It's Final Fantasy. It's even just called Final Fantasy 14 tabletop RPG starter set,
What?
and like it's legitimate too. You have like character sheet things. You got some setting books. You have maps.
What? That's awesome.
Looks pretty neat.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised because, like, yeah, like the different races and settings do make sense for like a TTRPG as well.
Uh-huh.
Sick.
And I know there's a lot of people who have made like Final Fantasy 14 stuff for 5th edition as well.
I just realized Matthew also put it in the chat, the TTRPG one, Wave
Mm.
2.
Yeah, they had to do a wave 2 because wave 1 was too popular.
Oh dang, just like the random merch.
Uh-huh. Oh, the random merch. Why does it all have to come out when I can't spend
Oh
money on extra
no.
things? Why?
Oh
I want
no.
I want the bag.
The oh yeah, yeah, like the crossbody bag, right? Did
Uh-huh.
it sell out, or is
I,
it?
I I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to it, but I here's the thing. I did buy an Orbi from the first wave
Nice.
because that came out at just the right time where I'm like, I can justify this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have the Orbi. It's sitting on my desk right in front of me. Still has the 10 pain scale tag on him.
Mine does too. Sorry, I'm like drawing Bart, but I realize I don't remember what. Not that I don't remember, but it's like, how do I make this look? Cause have you seen that video where it's like the animators of The Simpsons do have like a chart, like a reference chart of like never draw the characters like, for example, like fully frontal or something like that.
Yeah, which doesn't stop us from seeing them fully frontal, but it's just those are in the between frames where we're not supposed to be pausing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, that actually reminds me. Have you seen there's there's a picture floating out there of the original developers for Kirby's Dream Land,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like had each of the original developers draw Kirby, and
Oh,
they're all completely accurate except for the programmer's drawing of him, it's just like a circle with some stick limbs, and he's doing the inhaling action, and it like barely looks like Kirby.
I mean,
But then
with
like,
something like Kirby, I feel like you just have to make it pink. It'll be like,
right,
yep,
but
that's Kirby.
like one of the times I saw it posted, someone pointed out that it is actually pretty excusable for him to be like that. Not even just because he's not the art guy, but
Mm-hmm.
because if you think about it, he's the programming guy. He's the one
Mm.
most concerned about what Kirby does. And he's the only one that drew Kirby doing the inhaling action. Everyone else just drew him standing.
Yeah.
So he drew what Kirby does because that's what he was in charge of.
Ah, there you go. So yeah, that does make sense.
It's totally not an excuse to explain away why you can't draw one of the easiest to draw characters ever created.
Exactly. No, yeah, it's he's just doing his job, you know? Exactly. Okay, there we go. There's El Barto. There's so many things that like The Simpsons art is like deceptively simple and not.
Yeah.
There you go, El Barto.
Oh, now this is reminding me of that episode where they did the callback to El Barto, but it's Homer going around doing the same thing, and he's spray painting El Homo.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like he has like a delayed realization, and he does the classic like ah.
Yeah, that scream that Randon is really good at doing.
Yeah, wait, you're right, he does. Oh man, there's PDFs for the Super Mega Man X put it in the Babinka bungalow Discord, the PDFs. Free trial. You telling me there's a free trial for the
Wait.
TTRPG? Up to level 60? Nice. Okay.
So you could read the GM book and the player handbook for free.
Ah, okay, I see. Player book, game master book.
I might actually have a look at that later.
Yeah, this is interesting. It did certainly. Oh, mine is still loading.
That could be a fun thing to try one time.
Yeah. Doesn't help that I'm also still in my actual Final Fantasy 14 arc where it's going very slowly because either I am busy with work or actually after this week I'll be so free from work for the summer. It'll be glorious, but you
front loaded all your work here because you had your big overtime earlier, and then what it's on like Friday you have some big thing too.
It's Thursday, so basically the overtime was to prep for the event that I have, which is 2 days. It's tomorrow and Friday, and it's basically me doing the same exact thing but for a different school. So it's 800 kids for tomorrow and then 700 on Friday, which it's a little bit less, but still that's like an entire school. So
that's a lot of kids.
But we did it before. We've done it for the past 3 years. This is our last year. So it's doable. It's just a lot. And the thing is, the event itself is it's not very short. It's like 4 hours, but it's not the entire school day. So by 1:00 p.m. tomorrow, I'll be partially free. By 1:00 on Friday, I'll be free. And live my damn life, my darn life. But I think that's why I'm not gonna stream on Friday, but I am gonna do a double stream on, or not double stream. I'm gonna do a morning stream on Saturday. It's like a study stream, and then Saturday evening is when we're gonna start the Digimon Adventure watch along on the Discord.
Right.
So yeah, are you interested in well, not to put you on the spot, but if you are interested, that's happening. But I do know
I'm
that
interested in joining, but the only thing is Saturday evening is my D&D group.
Yeah, no worries.
Which I have to check with them if we're still going to be doing something, because I had originally planned on something else taking up my Saturday this week, but then that got changed, so I don't know if they want to go back to doing the game as originally planned or what.
Yeah. I think some of Beans' friends. It's funny because originally this friend group that plays D&D, I met them through college, and then they met Beans because they all played similar video games together. But now they're both of our friends, but it's also it's oh, you talk to them more, so more so your friends. But I think they also do D&D still occasionally, but they have a really fun setup where it's a bunch of, I haven't been in for a while, but the last time I was there, it's a bunch of one shots, but it's because it's set in an archipelago, so each island is its own shtick. This is
interesting.
Yeah, this is I don't know, Sword Art Online Island or emo punk band Island or stuff like that. So it's kind of one shots, but it's still kind of overarching in a way. But I also haven't joined in a minute. Like Kingdom Hearts, kind of Digimans. But yeah.
I got a like I'm not currently DMing any games. I did actually get through a whole game that actually took a couple years of me DMing it, so I'm actually kind of
Ooh,
proud that I managed to get through a whole campaign,
nice.
especially since it was a homebrew story and setting.
Oh, nice.
But I'm working on another one that I have absolutely no idea when I'm going to be able to start it, especially since I'm considering changing systems for it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's I've actually mentioned it to Randon a couple times because I wanted to include him as an NPC somewhere. So I asked him once like what he would want to be because I described it briefly as like if you imagine Trigun but with fantasy elements instead of sci-fi elements.
Ooh.
And he said because this was on stream that I asked him obviously because when the hell else would he answer something
Yeah.
from me, but um he said that he wanted to be a bandit leader whose entire group of bandit was constantly dunking on him.
so, so the Randonites in Randon.
Exactly.
There was a post
So
that I saw earlier on Twitter where it was like, um, nothing to do with Randon, but it was just like a meme of a guy saying like, "I'm horny," and then a person is like, "Go to horny jail," and they bonk him, but then like the panel ends with him just bleeding out, and the other person just being like, "Oh, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap."
and see, I'm just used to the other turnaround on that is fool. That's where all the horny people are. That's where I want to be.
Yeah, yeah, it's like jokes on you. I'm into that, or like very something very Randy coded to that degree. But yeah, are you used to kind of GMing for games or DMing, whichever the terminology is, or are you usually like the player?
I'm most often the player at the moment. I'm only the player, but
Mm.
so it actually kind of went. I did my first thing with D&D as a player. It was actually Ara in chat who was the DM
Oh,
for the game.
nice.
Um, and then as that game was going, I kind of picked up on kind of like how to DM,
Oh, okay.
and that's when I started. I originally first ran a game that was an adaptation of a story that I had for an RPG Maker game that I was making in high school.
That's sick.
And that game unfortunately fell through before the end. Um, there was some story difficulties. I learned a lot of lessons through it. I'm still glad I did it, but there were a lot of things that I did wrong that kind of soured some things. It didn't help.
Mm.
It didn't help that I think I could say this in some confidence because I don't think he would be here right now. My brother was kind of a problem player.
Oh, I see.
Um,
Kind of like those like Reddit posts that sometimes people
it
read for content.
it was it's just there were some annoying things, and the way he was playing his first character was the reason why I had to make it so every female NPC they came across was either married or underage,
Oh,
so he wouldn't
jeez.
so
Yeah.
he wouldn't hit on them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh boy, I love this story. That's what Aura said.
uh, um, because the first character he made was a barbarian who was
Bard behavior.
he was a barbarian whose character art he used was Johnny Bravo.
I mean, I guess I get like, with Johnny Bravo is like it's kind of funny because he's the butt of the joke, Though,
Mhm.
yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. I totally
The
get
thing
it.
is, yeah, the thing is it gets a little tiring when it's constantly
Yeah.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, eventually I cut him out of the game. There wasn't any confrontation about it. I found the secret to removing a player from the game without confrontation. And the secret is I put the game on hiatus for about a month,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I told everyone that we were going to start it back up again, I just didn't tell him.
Can you imagine if he like pops up in chat right now? He's like, "Hey, wait a minute."
And then story-wise, I just put his current character on a boat to scenic nowhere.
Did he go back to his home planet and then the cell just like
Exactly.
goes,
Exactly.
"My planet needs
Unfortunately,
me."
like I couldn't really get it going after that. The new player I brought in, like he did his best to try to mesh in with the already partially progressed story, but I think there
Mm-hmm.
was I think it was a sense of a lot of the damage was already done, and it wasn't entirely my brother. Like I said, there was a lot of faults on my end of just learning really really the right way to handle a game.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
And,
then after that,
mhm.
I actually did a completely new original story, and that was that game that I had that actually like went for a couple years and actually got to end.
Mm. And how many years did you? Because you said a couple of years, but I know that those
Um,
campaigns like they can go for like years and years.
yeah, I think it started in 2018, and I want to say it ended in I think I think 2020. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay.
I would have to double check, but yeah, it actually did run the course, and like the final boss was fought and everything like that, and they had their big like the end of Star Wars: A New Hope celebration ceremony. Everyone
Yeah,
gets medals.
yeah. Chewbacca roars and
Yeah, Chewbacca roars, and then we do a circle wipe to the credits.
yeah, yeah. I was like trying to figure out what it's called, where it like circles in. Like, yeah, exactly. Mega Bronson
Yeah, no,
said,
they
"I plan a character like that, but like socially awkward instead and terrible at flirting, but it's trying really hard to find someone to have kids with. Basically, an insult. Oh no, Mega
and see, I
Bronson,
don't
tell me more." No, I'm kidding.
yeah, it's that's funny. And the thing is, I don't have a problem with characters like that. It's just that like when you feel the need to like do it at every possible moment and really drag the game pace down because of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like cuz like yeah, it's funny of going in like okay, we go in the tavern and your character's like all right, where the bitches at? And like that's
Oh,
funny.
jeez.
Like that's funny and that's fine. It's when you stop to ask every single NPC, like, you
Where
know,
the bitches?
hey baby, are you married?
Ah, yuck.
Yeah.
But I also understand how logistically that's also like, can we move on from this? Like, can
Mhm.
we? Dang, I don't have any horror stories because like all of my, I have like I said, I have relatively little like TTRPG knowledge, and like the
Mhm.
DM that Mega Bronson actually knows who I'm talking about. Like he's really good at what he does, so no problem. But I have seen those like YouTube videos of like basically a person just reading off like Reddit stories of like get a load of this terrible GM or get a load of this terrible character that is essentially that like
Mhm.
either misogynistic or kind of like a one note character in a way.
Yeah.
Mega Bronson, my character currently drags out convos because she has dementia. I think I remember overhearing when Beans
And
was
see,
playing with you
if the
guys.
table has fun with it, that's great. It's
Exactly.
perfect. I love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The, for some reason, I'm reminded now. In the game that I finished, there was like a side story arc that was like a fighting tournament that
Mm-hmm.
they got that they
Ooh.
literally got sucked into.
Uh-huh.
It was it was being run by a dragonborn who was basically just Macho Man. I pulled out my best absolutely terrible Macho Man impression for the whole thing.
Oh yeah, Macho Man. I always think of the. Have you seen that one King of the Hill episode where there's like people working out, like these like basically like muscle heads that like take over Bill's home gym, and one of them is voiced by Macho Man, the other one is voiced by Diedrich Bader.
Uh-huh.
And they have like they like that's my vocal stim right there. Is like I think Macho Man being like, what I like about working out is that there's a point where you reach where there's a very real chance you might die. And I think Diedrich Bader says something like, "No agony, no braggony."
And that's the other thing is like I actually have a character on the back burner. I'm waiting for a game to come up that's like the right kind of setting to use him in. Where
Mm.
like because I plan on focusing on like a grappling build just as a gimmick. And the
Ooh.
character is basically gonna be Macho Man. And his whole motivation to being an adventurer is he wants to travel from place to place to promote and essentially create the Forgotten Realms version of WWE.
The Forgotten Realms version of WWE. That's amazing.
And I even came up with the dumbest part of the whole thing, since he was going to be a big Macho Man reference, and I was going to try to keep the voice up with him as much as I can, and then his stage presence would be that he would go up and have face paint on like with the colors of like a baboon, and he would call himself the Macho Man Drill.
That's amazing. The Macho Mandrill.
I'm waiting for the right setting to use him in.
That's amazing. I kind of love that. Like, I'm still kind of working on my. So I do have like an OC, but it's mostly because like I realize I've never like developed one really, but it's actually
Uh-huh.
based off like a D&D character that I played only once, but like I kind of like the story and was like I feel like this has some kind of potential to just be like an original character that I just use in like video games, but basically the shtick it started out as like kind of comedic where she's basically from a cult, but she tries to it's basically an MLM. Like she tries to like convert people to her MLM, and it's like no, it's not a pyramid scheme, it's a reverse triangle. And like and the shtick is that she worships like a giant snake and sells oil from that snake, purported snake oil, but it's actually like I haven't even like thought of like what it actually would be, but it's essentially snake oil.
I was just like, have you heard the good word of Tupperware?
Wait, that's a good one. Cuz I didn't know until like much like didn't Tupperware start as an MLM?
I think it did.
That's insane. Like
At least the brand name one, because that's the thing
oh.
is Tupperware is a brand name but it's getting Kleenex, so like everyone's referring to like every plastic container as Tupperware.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Like it's either that or like if you have the glass one, it's Pyrex. Even though like I think Pyrex is
Uh-huh.
also a brand name, right?
Uh-huh. It's actually technically two brand names. There,
Yeah,
there's a whole story behind that I won't get into
yeah.
because there's better qualified people to talk about that than me.
Yeah, I didn't know until like there was a time where I feel like a lot of people were making content about like different MLMs. Like there was that one YouTuber that got disgraced, Illuminati, who like her content was just talking about MLMs, and I was like, wait, Tupperware started out as one? That's crazy. But yeah, like it is a brand name. The actual like plastic container itself isn't, but yeah, like that's crazy to
And yeah,
me.
it's exactly what Matthew said. The Tupperware parties that would be a thing where it would be primarily women would have these get-togethers with like will like order snacks and things and like that, and then they would have a Tupperware spokeswoman there,
Oh no.
and they'd all be getting indoctrinated into the Church of the Tupperware.
The Church of Tupperware. Wait, that's an amazing
Damn it!
shtick.
That's what I should have called my cult in Cult of the Lamb. Damn it!
That's the Cult of
I went with a
Tupperware.
stupid bear pun instead. What's wrong with me?
Nah, it's all good. You got the bear puns in there. I might steal that idea though for my OC if if I want to keep it comedic still. Like it'll be she's from the cult of like, or it has to be like a magical name, but it like if you say it quick enough, it's Tupperware. Like of to upware. Cult of Tupper Bear. Holy crap, Mega Bronson.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why we keep you around.
This is my point. No, Mega Bronson. He said I'm still showing my age by still thinking Tupperware is an MLM. Tupperware party. Yeah, you know what? I don't know how much I can talk about it. Well, I think it was so long ago that I think the people that involved kind of see it as like hopefully humorously, but I did have friends that were kind of suckered into like an MLM, but it was like in our 20s and right away I was kind of sussed out about it, but I do remember my friend being like, "Hey, you want to host a party to sell this product?" I won't say what product it was, but it was very similar to like a Tupperware party. And hopefully none of the parties I'm talking about are in chat. I doubt they are, but it's kind of the same with you talking about your brother where like, I don't think they're in chat, but anyway, they were suckered into an MLM. But they have since, of course they have since left, but it's so weird that like if you like go to any of their meetings, they try to like lure you in with like super cool fast cars and I don't know, stuff like that. And for me, who's not the least bit interested in cars, it's like okay.
Right.
And I feel like
Yeah, no,
oh sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that kind of stuff doesn't really get to be. It's like, oh yeah, big fast sports car, huge mansion, yacht. I'm like, why would I want any of these?
Yeah. I
That
just
seems
want
like
some
an-
food.
Seems like an awful lot to take care of.
Yeah, and I feel like my social anxiety kind of saved me because when my friend was like, "Would you like to host a party to sell these products?" Immediately I'm like, "No, I don't want to host a party. I don't care what it's for, but I don't want to be like with that many people and like not be able to escape somehow. If it's in my house or back then I was living with my parents, so like if it's in my house that means I can't escape. If it's in someone else's house, I could be like, "Oh, sorry, I got to go feed the ponies and I don't really have ponies, but I'm going to go. Goodbye." Whereas like if it's at my house, no. Like I can't escape.
Because the only way to escape then would be the extremely awkward just stand up and be like, yeah, I need everyone to just leave now.
Yeah, get up, dust your pants and just be like, "It's about that time. I need you guys to get out."
Yeah.
Cielo Slug is talking about, buy a huge pack of this and you can host a party to sell it to your friends. Exactly. Their cousin threw a party for like essential oil crystal bull BS. My mom attended and I ended up getting those stupid bracelets with healing rocks. No.
See, it's all that rock stuff is an absolute scam. None of it can have any effect on you unless they're selling uranium.
No, you don't understand. This crystal really does have an effect. It makes me sick every day. I just keep vomiting.
This crystal makes me feel sick and vomit. I've been losing so much weight. It's great.
Oh no, you're giving people ideas of what I need to know. Someone's gonna be watching this stream and they're like, "Oh my gosh, wait." I could sell the
enough to fall for it.
Yeah, like I could sell the next weight loss, like not scam, but reversed triangle scheme. This crystal tastes like grandma. This crystal makes me poor. Wait a minute, this crystal does taste like grandma. I'll take 10.
Goddamn tobacco.
Tobacco. This magic glow rock will balance your chakras, feed you for the rest of your life. I mean, yeah, if you're taking uranium, it will feed you for the rest of your life because you're not gonna live that long. I do like the prettiness of crystals, but not all of that. I'm good on that.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, some things are nice to look at. It's
Mm-hmm.
like there's plenty of rocks that are real pretty and nice to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like if you're buying them for any other reason, you're a sucker.
Yeah, like have you heard of that one because I think Cielo reminded me of there's a bracelet that says like, "Oh, it sucks up all of the negative energy and the negative chakras." And then like eventually it breaks, right? I think that's just a really good cover up for like the fact that they're selling like a really terrible bracelet.
Yeah,
It's like, whoa, it's sucking up so much negative energy. It finally broke. I'm gonna go buy a new one. It's
like
like, nope.
it's working so well, it's already broken.
I've only had it for like a day.
Imagine if you Imagine if someone was like that, but for like their TV. Like it shows the shows in such high definition that it's already broken.
It's just that high. It just works. Oh my gosh. So I do gotta say, I did want to, if it's okay with you, I did want to put a stop at like around 9:30, just so I could prep for
Yeah,
my big
yeah.
event tomorrow. But yeah, did you want to talk about the cool art that you made? I like the Homer.
Yeah, so I got Homer here just because I can tell this story again on your
Yeah,
stream here.
yeah.
So like back when I was in high school, before I started drawing people like I did, I drew faces based kind of on like The Simpsons
Yeah.
with like the big eyes and the large nose.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the way that I would do it is I start with the eyes and then I draw the nose and then I draw the rest of the head around it. And I would be constantly like just drawing and doodling in class because, what loser actually pays attention at school. And then so like I'll put over here. There
Mm-hmm.
was one time that I was just starting a drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm drawing.
Oh, I remember this story.
So yeah, I'm getting started on drawing the characters. So
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, I draw the eyes, and I would be then going to do the nose. I put in the pupils. Right here,
Yeah.
the teacher stops me and sees what I'm drawing and asks me why I'm drawing boobs.
Oh no. No, she doesn't
To
know.
be
She doesn't
fair,
know.
to be fair, this if they caught me at the next step, it wouldn't have been much better.
Oh my gosh.
And just so nothing bad happens, there, it's a face
Yeah,
now.
yeah, now it's a face, but I
It's
totally
a
get it.
face.
Yeah.
It's a face. It's just a face. And then mad or whatever like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like oh look, he has a mohawk or something.
Yeah. No, I hate that because when you were telling that story on your stream, it's not super similar, but I do have like a core memory of being in the 6th grade and like I was not paying attention during class. And the thing is, I would also draw on the okay. So here's where I crapped up. I drew on the desk, but I would always erase it once I was done because there was already
Uh-huh.
drawings on the desk.
Right,
So
and the graphite just comes right off.
yeah, it just comes right off. So I would always erase it, but one day I wasn't paying attention and the my math teacher caught me as I was mid drawing and I looked up and her face was like it's kind of etched into my brain how much rage was in her face. She like took the pencil away from me. And before I could even say anything like, "Oh, I'm going to erase it," like she sent me to the corner for that entire class period. And that's like one of those things that like you see in like media. And also like I was a teacher's
Uh-huh.
pet, so I had never gotten any kind of like punishment before. So this was one of
Right.
those like I can't believe that this is actually like a real life punishment is like I'm getting sent to the corner, which is like humiliating because then everyone that comes in, you know what? It was like before class started, so people were still coming in, and I could hear them
Uh,
being like, "Oh, why is Babinka in the corner? What happened to Babinka?" And the thing is, I was forced to face away, so like they couldn't see my face, and it was like that
uh,
for the entire class period. I was just in a corner, and it just feels so like it's not abusive, but it just is like kind of humiliating, all for
right,
drawing on a desk.
right.
Did when your teacher saw you drawing the face, did they like punish you, or was that enough?
I
Was them
think that was
asking?
the I think that was the punishment, was drawing attention.
Yeah, yeah.
He just he just wanted to go, look everyone, it's that boy who laughs at everyone.
And just being like, why are you
That guy
drawing
was kind of
boobs?
he was kind of a jerk anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like my teacher was
Like
also kind of a jerk.
it's a thing that some kids will say that, like, just because, it's a teacher, but like I don't say that about most of my teachers. The guy really was just a jerk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like working with teachers, there's definitely some teachers who like are in it for the right reasons, like they actually want to like share their education or share their wisdom with the kiddos. And then have definitely encountered a lot of teachers who are just there because it's very obvious that they're on a power trip, where it's like I can tell
Uh-huh.
these students to do whatever I want, basically.
Yeah.
Mm. Matthew said Nelson laughed. No. Ha ha. It definitely is abusive. How is that helping you in education? It's true. It's true. It was a little scarring, but it's not as bad as like getting your hands hit with a ruler, I guess, but I guess comparing abuse isn't necessarily super productive in any way.
It's not exactly helpful. I
Yeah.
mean, we can say that it's better because there's like no physical scarring, but then like I don't know, in some situations you have to ask, like, is it better?
Yeah, I guess
Because like
yeah.
that stuff can stick with you a bit, whereas I don't know, you might forget about the person who whacked you across the knuckles with a ruler, but you might not forget the person who, like, stuck you in the corner for the whole class and didn't explain anything, so everyone's probably coming up with their own reason of, why you did a bad thing.
Exactly. So I guess the fact that we're both recounting these stories of like, oh, getting caught drawing and like getting called out by a teacher, I guess that is enough of like, yeah, like if it sticks in your memory that much, it is like kind of a form of like at least trauma or abuse. Even if it's not as bad as
Yeah.
physical, it's still like eh.
Like, whether or not it's as bad, worse, or better, it's all kind of moot anyway.
True, true,
It
true.
it's still kind of bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But not to end the stream on a bad note. I do like for the drip, the 90s drip that you that you
I
had me
didn't get
in.
I didn't get your shoes done, but I'm absolutely terrible at shoes, so
Oh, me too. That one, oh my god, for my original model with like those shoes,
uh
it took me forever. Like it took me multiple tries, but I was like, but I really like these shoes, so I really want to. But yeah, like since it's a little less than 5 minutes to 9:30, is there any like announcements or what are your upcoming streams that you got next?
um let's see, let me think for a moment. I basically just got my normal stuff going on because for people who haven't tuned into me before, first of all, again, how dare you? Anyway,
Yeah, I'm shouting you out right now.
anyway, I tend to do I like, the best way to describe it is kind of let's play style things where I just pick a game and play through it, and then that's just kind of what's on that day until I finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I don't put different schedules out very often,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just kind of until the game is done. But so I stream games Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoon. Thursdays I'm playing Fatal Frame 3 right now,
Nice.
and Saturdays I'm playing Fallout 3 right now.
Nice.
So if you want to see me take selfies of spooky ghosts, come around on Thursday. If you want to see me constantly struggling because I'm running out of ammo all the goddamn time because the game wants me to fight 500 super
Oh
mutants,
my
then come
gosh.
in on Saturdays and watch Fallout.
Yeah. What times are you usually live?
Pacific times, Thursdays is 7, Saturdays is noon.
Nice, nice. Yeah, because I know Randon raids into you every so often. So
He has done a couple times, yeah.
So, this Saturday, I won't be streaming tomorrow or Friday because of that event. I'm gonna be way too tired. But Saturday morning, I will be doing a study stream. So I think people can probably dual stream both of us, depending on how long mine goes for. And I could raid into you if you're still going on by the time I'm done, because I'm gonna be starting at 11 a.m. an hour early. It's gonna be my first time doing a study stream. I've just seen people like Tipanya do study streams because I want to really
Right.
study Japanese, but we'll see what happens. Um, but for the evening, I mentioned this before, but I'm gonna be doing the Digimon watch along. So if anyone is interested in that, it's gonna be via Discord. I'm gonna put that in the chat. If people are interested in joining in, we're watching the dub of Digimon Adventure 1999. And we're just gonna do like 4 episodes. If you're able to join Vite Height, that'd be great. But I know you said that you might have something going on. But also, I know you're also a Digimon fan. So
Absolutely. If I don't have anything going on, I'll probably be in there. If I do, I will be there in spirit.
okay, no problem, no problem. Cielo, what time is it gonna be? Study stream is at 11. The watch along is going to be at 6:30 p.m. Like my usual stream time, 6:30 p.m. PST. So or PDT, I guess. But yeah. But Vite, you got anything else you either want to talk about, announce, or anything like that?
Um, Nothing really right now. I mean, I am working on some new things
Oh
for
yeah.
the stream. I know you've been helping me out with a couple, with like one or two of them, but it it's all going to debut at the same time. There's no concrete time at the moment because I'm still working on it.
Mhm.
But there are improvements in the work.
Nice. Yeah, you let me know if there's any way I can help with either with like I call it a template or overlay, but any way that I can help with like redeems or anything like that, just let me know. Especially like the get rotated one. That one's always fun.
I
Me?
actually did finish getting my daily check-in redeem done.
Nice.
That could actually be deployed at any moment, but I'm going to hold off until everything's done.
Nice, exciting. Now you guys can get your own versions of yours is probably going to be different from Sniffa but like yeah, there's going to be a daily redeem at Vite, so make sure you guys follow him, check out his streams and you guys will get to join in on that fun too. But yeah. If nothing else, then we can go ahead and call it. I'm gonna go ahead and do my post stream stuff, and then I'm probably gonna head to bed early because I gotta get up at like 6 to prep that virtual class. But this was fun. I really like the art.
Oh.
Thank you for kind of like chatting and also making this cute art. All with mouse, by the way. All of this art is made with mouse. So you can thank the master of mouse artwork, Whiteheight.
It's no problem. Thank you for having me.
But yeah, in that case, if it's okay with the Bibinkas, we won't be doing a mosh today. You guys are already kind of doing your mosh emotes in there. But I'm just going to go ahead and see who we can raid into. But Whitehide, is it okay if I end the call?
Yeah, that's all right. And it's fine with no much. I still just use that.
No! Perfect timing, too. All right, well, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end the call. Thank you again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay, so calls ended. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. You guys have to follow Whitehide and check out his streams. His stuff is like his chatting topics are always really fun. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see who we can raid into. Let me stop raids. And then let's see who is streaming at the moment. Let's see. We got Mushi, we got Milky. I don't know if I we're gonna raid into Milky actually, because I'm so used to her being like earlier, or her ending before me. But let's go ahead and raid into Milky, shall we? For those who don't know, she's a fellow Random Night streamer, but a NSFW artist. So if any of you are minors, get out. But otherwise, thanks everyone for joining with this collab. Look at this cute art. I'm gonna post it up afterwards. I return to the wall. Thank you, Bite Height, and thank you everyone for joining in. I'm gonna go to the outro. Thank you, thank you. Once again, not streaming tomorrow or the day after, but I'll see you guys Saturday morning, okay? So let's go ahead, start the raid. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Thank you. And once again, thank you, Bite Height. Woo! Let's raid.